are now live. We are now live. So Melissa's, I gotta Zello her real quick so she can pick up the strain.
Welcome to the Freedom Revolution Network.
We are live.
We are live.
So,
hello everyone. This is Ron Tyler with Emergency Management Associates coming to you live from the Freedom Revolution Network in Salt Lake City, Utah, the crossroads of the West. And we are joined today by Scarlet Anonymous.
hello,
Welcome,
everyone.
Scarlet. It's good to have my partner in crime on board with me today. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad to be here. So,
yes, we have a lot to talk about, folks. We have a lot to talk about. I want to first bring up Mammoth Mountain. Mammoth Mountain in California, the ski resort town, has had a minor eruption. There has been magma escaping the volcano today, and we don't have any pertinent word from the ski resort. We don't have any pertinent word right now from the ski resort, which is a little bit unusual. I honestly thought we probably would have something, announcement or whatever, that there's been an eruption at Mammoth, but we don't have that. However, we do have the information over in the seismic records over at the Berkeley seismographic station at ncedc.org/BDSN QuickBook HTML.html. Anyway, to make a long story short, the information is there and it's showing major magma infill going on, and then the center of the seismogram is the kicker on this one. And it's big time. It's big time.
They also are having severe extreme winds.
Yes. Yes, there are. So
we
wanted to give you this information because this is very pertinent information on what is going on. This is something that we have to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
This is an absolute necessity that we keep an eye on what is going on over in the California area. We have told you before, over in the Cascades, we have had major magma infill all over the Cascades. We told you about Mammoth Mountain already, having magma infill and a lot of activity at Mammoth Mountain in California. And now we have it on good authority right now that we've had a small minor eruption at Mammoth Mountain. I am trying to pull up the information right now to see if we've got. All right, let's look here. Okay, now we're not showing anything. It has not come out to the media. This is really wild.
It is wild because if that is true, because like I said, they're having extreme winds there today too. They were talking up to 137-mile-an-hour winds.
Yes.
On the top of Mammoth, they got reports of 101 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's some really intense wind. 137 miles an hour at Alpine Meadows.
Yeah, that's wild.
It is. It's absolutely wild. I don't, and if that is happening, I could see it. And they also issued a severe turbulence alert, which I have never seen before.
Yeah, it's very true.
So it's interesting that over that area, there was, severe turbulence today, which we didn't hear about, which we also heard about another incident in California today with a plane with going over LAX, dumping jet fuel on small children at a school. So did the turbulence have something to do with it? Because that county isn't too many counties away from where they could have been flying to turn around to go back. I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked that deep into it yet.
It's just interesting that they would dump fuel, having a plane that has to return to the airport and dumping fuel over the land right over the top of a school.
Yeah.
I know for a fact, I've gone to ground school. You don't dump fuel over a populated area.
It was right here.
It's just
no,
not
you don't.
done.
But I guess a friend of mine brought to my awareness that apparently at SeaTac that they actually do this daily. So this is like a common thing that they do, is where they dump fuel over the people who live in the vicinity, and they're having to deal with the effects of jet fuel, which usually manifests itself in cancer. So that's, you know, however you want to feel about that.
Yeah. It just, I don't know.
Yeah. An update just for broadcast purposes. Mel says we're live and it's beautiful. And if you can do all your broadcasts like this, she would appreciate it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, yeah. So
I'm
she
hoping
said this is a winner chicken dinner for that.
Yes, I totally agree.
Well, no, it's easy. And we're both here and we can invite more people. Oh, did you send that invite? Did you send the invite?
To, no, I have not yet. I can do that.
Yeah, send it while we're here.
I can do that.
Yeah, do that. All you have to do is give him that code that you sent me. Just send him that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he should be able to get in. And then he'll just show up with us here. Then there'll be a little try box.
All right.
So just so we can test it, just for, testing purposes.
Testing purposes only.
Yeah, well, we told everybody that we would do. Oh, I should probably go get a chat somewhere, huh? So, people are probably trying to speak to us, I would assume, right?
I would think.
I would hope so. I would hope.
I would hope it too.
Yeah. Let me go find a box that I can go open with chat. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Melissa, who pops in. And I have you on very quiet so nobody else can hear you. But she's like, go look on the show page. Yes, go to freedomrevolutionnetwork.com. And then you can go to the show page and then you can chat too. I should have said that that's what I was doing, but thank you.
Yeah.
Our handy dandy producer in our ear.
Yeah.
My computer's being very slow though around. It's startling. All right. And the reason why we wanted to come on tonight in particular was there's breaking news right now, you guys, out of Mississippi. Jackson, Mississippi right now is under a flash flood warning, with many communities right now under the gun. Swiftwater rescues are occurring right now. USCF is watching them. We have been activated to watch. So if it does get worse, we might have to fully activate. But at this time, they're expecting a dam to fail. And we'll pull up the article here in a second after I get the show page up, and we will read this to you, because this was Ron and I's original reason for coming on early and coming on together, was to inform you all, because, we like to cover some of these breaking news stories, was to tell you about this in Mississippi. All right. Let's see what we got. And, oh, hey, have you shared to the EMA page that we're live right now?
No, but I can do that right now.
You should, so that people know we're live, because then people will start streaming in.
I just sent our dear brother an invitation.
Awesome. Perfect. Yeah, because we are live on the site, but we need more eyeballs.
Yeah.
So I should share.
Ouch.
All right. So what I was going to do is pull up this article about Mississippi right now and read it to you guys. It really startled me because Ron and I were talking about this. And Ron, you had checked in with the emergency managers out there in Mississippi like last month, you said?
Yes.
And so this is startling. This is not something that any of us expected or saw coming down the line. We haven't seen any flash flood warnings in this area at all recently. I check it weather.gov at least every day, twice a day, if not at the least every other day. And I haven't seen anything to this degree. So I found that interesting. Let's see what we've got here, because I just posted an article about it, but it always takes me a little longer, and now you guys get to see me struggle live. So that's always fun. Not for me, but for you all, you get to see me squirm. Let's see here. Okay. Here's the article. It's coming from Fox News. Not too many people that aren't local to this area are covering it, I have found. But what I can say is here's the article. Authorities in Mississippi urged residents to evacuate in the northern part of the state Tuesday after heavy rains spawned a flash flood emergency and put a dam at imminent risk of failing. The National Weather Service issued a flash flood emergency in the Jackson metro area and urged residents to seek higher ground after heavy rains created a life-threatening situation. Local officials have reported multiple swiftwater rescues ongoing or needed in the downtown Jackson area. The National Weather Service tweeted, "More rain is expected." A flash flood emergency was also issued in Ocotiba County, located in, and I don't know if I'm saying that right, but somebody from Mississippi can come and correct me. I do not mind. Located in the east central portion of the state. Ocotiba County Lake Dam is imminent danger of failing, the National Weather Service tweeted. Those in the area should evacuate and seek higher ground. Now, we found out that this evacuation is only a voluntary evacuation. Ron and I have decided that we believe this should be a mandatory evacuation. Period. You don't play around with water and dams and potential complete failure.
Right. You don't. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
Completely unheard of.
I mean, honestly, like, it just blows my mind to think, oh, you're just supposed to leave all these poor people and they can leave if they want to. Do they realize do they have informed consent to understand the risk of the threat?
Right.
You know, how much water does that hold? How much area is it? What potential areas around it would be, in danger?
Right.
So they said Mississippi Emergency Management Agency, or MEMA, as you might hear it in future press conferences, said that the Ocotiba County is encouraging residents who live near Ocotiba County Lake Dam to evacuate. The engineer of the dam, after inspections, believes that failure of the dam is imminent. Listed below are the roads that will be closed. County Lake Road closed from Highway 83 to Harrell Road. Walter Bell Road closed from County Lake Road to Watershed Drive. Perkins Drive, the entire road. Highway 389 closed from Wade Road to Sudeth Road. Reed Road closed from Highway 25 bypass to County Lake Road. Highway 82 closed from County Lake Road to 25 bypass. Sun Creek Road closed from Camp Seminole Road to Highway 389. Highway 50 closed from John Henry Road to Tribble Road, and Waterwell Road, the entire road. Ocotiba County EMA Director Karen Campanella told WTVA TV that the evacuation is not mandatory at this time, but residents in the area near the dam should move a safe distance away. Earlier in the day, Warren County Fire Service and Warren County Sheriff's Department in Mississippi rescued a driver who was trapped in a car in the water. Mississippi Department of Transportation also warned drivers to be careful after flash flooding was reported on Interstate 20. Never drive through a flooded roadway, the DOT said. Turn around, don't drown. Forecasters warned that flash flooding was expected on Tuesdays in parts of northeast Louisiana, southeast Arkansas, and northern portions of central Mississippi. In front of the area produced numerous clusters of showers and thunderstorms capable of producing heavy rainfall. Around 1 to 4 inches of rain were expected Tuesday, with higher amounts possible. With the ground already saturated across the area, flash flooding is likely, said the National Weather Service Jackson office. Rainfall will decrease in intensity by this evening. And I mean later this evening, you guys. Images showed roadways and parking lots after heavy rains overwhelmed storm drains. In the city of Pearl, officials stressed that motorists should not drive around barricades blocking flooded roads. City officials shared a video on Twitter of one of the rescues out of the floodwaters. This is why you do not drive around barricades. This woman is very fortunate to escape injury. So it's interesting what's going on. We need to figure out what's going on. These people need to have a plan. They're talking about calling in more swiftwater rescuers because they don't know if they'll be needed. If MEMA is at that point, it's time to get the people out. Why wait and put swiftwater rescue teams on standby and risk their lives when you could just tell people to get the hell out and put it in a mandatory evacuation?
Right. There's no reason.
No. I'm really appalled by this, Ron.
I am too.
Because these poor people, you know, every time we're going to have to come up with a plan and then we'll have to execute it if 911 does fail, which it does quite often. I wish they would just put a little bit of prevention. You know, it's worth an ounce of cure, as they say, and I wish they would just put a little bit into it.
I agree. I don't understand why they haven't up until now. This bothers me to no end at this point. There's no reason for it.
No, and I don't think that we should be playing around when the water is already rising as fast as it is. Some of these numbers on the hydrologic outlooks, you know, are at, you know, almost major flood level. They're definitely in, you know, above flood level. 7 flood gauges are in flood across the country, and like 5 of them are in Mississippi right now.
Yeah.
Louisiana just also got warnings. And so we're going to have to be watching that as well, because now I wondered if the water wasn't going to start going down the Mississippi and making its way to the Gulf and causing issues in all these areas, which we do know now, of course, that is happening.
Right. It's unreal.
It is unreal. I mean, I've never seen the Mississippi flood in the middle of January.
No.
I don't. Now, March or February or something, okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But we're getting ready to go into the polar vortex and everybody's flooding. That's going to be lovely. Then all this water is going to be frozen. I mean, the Mississippi River here, we were talking in chat to a few people last night, and there was a couple of people from Minneapolis in the area. And a gal's house was, you know, getting close to the floodwaters last night, of which it was only at 9 feet. Last night it went up to 13 feet. So I hope her property was okay with that extra jump of water.
Right.
But they don't even know what to do with it here, because we don't flood in the winter time like this. You know, the river should be almost starting to freeze.
Yeah.
But we've had some forgiving temperatures, which haven't been that cold. So I think that has something to do with it.
It could very much have something to do with it. But at this point in time, I don't believe we've had the snow and everything to be able to have a huge melt off that would cause this flooding. Where did this water come from? That's what I like to know. Where is this water coming from?
But I did notice 3 days ago, I saw in headlines that Mississippi had some pretty bad storms, and that they were saturated. So maybe this last precipitation event primed them to be in this situation now.
Yeah, that could very well be too.
Because, I mean, these storms look brutal. You know, I went to my local KSTP has an interactive radar. It's for Minneapolis, but you can zoom out to look basically anywhere at any weather system. It's, you know, probably uses the GO 17 because we know we don't have 15 or 16 anymore, right?
Yeah.
But it uses the software, and you just zoom out to wherever you're looking, and it'll show you what's going on. Like currently right now in South Dakota, there's a large storm. Wyoming, Salt Lake area. Oh, you snowing into your house, Ron?
It's snowing.
Yeah. Shows
it's lightly snowing, yes.
Yeah, you can find just about any system you want and just move it across. You know, it's like a little drag. Oh, I can show people. I forget I can show people. And I'm used to just explaining everything because I've done, you know, radio for 5 years. So, but I can show everybody. Let me show you. Come with me, everyone. I'm going to show you something. Here's Jackson right here. Okay, here's Jackson, like right in here. Here's some more red areas of rain though, but look how thick that rain is. It's some pretty thick rain.
Yes, it is.
And it's only going to keep coming, and it's all the way across the whole state. And let me kind of zoom back out. And you see how it keeps training over that same area. And some of it is deep, dark red.
Right.
I mean, this is going all the way from Florida, and some of this is coming off of the Gulf. So, you know, it's like some Gulf-wrapped moisture. But to see all of this red and orange and yellow on the map, you know, that's not just your garden variety showers.
No, it's not. This has nothing to do with garden variety showers. No way.
This is something different, of which I think everybody should take note and heed, because that's a lot of rain. And then where is this going? As it moves through Georgia, which the whole state of Georgia right now is getting completely bombed, will this turn into a snowstorm as it goes up the East Coast? That can bring problems for other people. Another thing, today, the state of Mississippi swore in their governor today, and their governor's celebrations have been postponed due to the flooding.
Yes.
So they did swear him in inside and all that, so they did get that done because they needed to get it done.
Yeah.
But he's had, I wonder if he will declare a disaster.
I would hope he would.
You know, I mean, it'd be hard because it's your first day on the job. You wouldn't want to mess up, right? You wouldn't be like, oh, I'm the guy who comes in and, you know, drop the ball. You don't want to be that guy.
No.
So it's like, I hope he doesn't make a bad decision. I don't know what I would do, though. If it was my first day as governor and this happened to me, I would panic. I would panic. I'd be like with my assistant being like, is this really happening right now? Tell me this is not happening. This is the worst day of my life.
I agree.
Wouldn't it be, though? I mean, you're supposed to be a happy occasion and day. You know, you got all your family there. You know, you got all these cameras. You know, it's supposed to be like a wonderful day. And then, like, till the end of time, you'll remember how, you know, on your day of swearing in and your inauguration day, how you had to deal with, you know, dams breaking, flooding, you know, flood, fire, brimstone. It's kind of awful.
Wild.
It is wild. Yeah, and, you know, it looks like there's another, you know, set of snow coming off of the Pacific Northwest into Seattle, Montana. They're talking about here in Minnesota, we're just going to keep getting hit with, like, groups of storms. Groups of storms. And by the end of the week, we should have, like, a foot.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking forward to that.
It's wild.
Let's see if I can, I'm just going to go find the chat. The chat disappeared on me. I'm trying to get rid of all these boxes and things. Some quick earthquake updates. Now, I did say I was going to look to see how far the earthquake was in Tennessee from this, because I think that's an important connection.
Yeah, it is.
Because if this potential earthquake is not that far away from it, then could it be connected why we're having issues or failure at the dam?
Yeah.
That would be my only question.
I have real issues because just a month ago they said, "Oh, the dam's going to be fine," and now we're hearing that we're going to have a possible dam break. Um, there's issues. There's some real serious issues.
Well, yeah, especially from your perspective because you already spoke to them about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something. I mean, you know, if they didn't think that this was going to occur, I didn't know, I just don't, how do you get from this isn't going to happen to now we are in full-blown crisis, the dam has been compromised, and everybody needs to get out, but not mandatorily, just voluntarily.
Right. It's a voluntary evacuation, but at this point in time, we have issues with how many thousands of people up and down the river. It's a voluntary evacuation, but there's how many thousands of people up and down the river. I have an issue with that. And this river goes all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico, folks. And we have a reason to be worried. We have a reason to be concerned.
We do.
This flooding is going to go, and it's going to go all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. Other places along the river are also being notified.
Yep.
So,
as we speak, I mean, there's flood warnings now everywhere from St. Louis, all the way down. Right now, the flood warning continues for the following rivers in Illinois and Missouri: the Mississippi River at Grafton, the Mississippi River at Mel, Price, Lock and Dam. The Mississippi River at Chester. River forecasts are based on observed precipitation and forecast precipitation of the next 48 hours. Rainfall heavier than forecast. Oh, dun, dun, dun. And they said they could not measure the water levels in Mississippi. So this is interesting.
Very.
Rainfall heavier than based on, okay, hold on. Rainfall heavier than forecast can cause river levels to rise even higher than predicted. The National Weather Service will monitor this developing situation and issue follow-up statements as conditions or forecasts change. Safety message. Never drive cars, trucks, or sport utility vehicles through flooded areas. The water may be too deep to allow for safe passage.
Yeah.
They say the flood warning continues for the Mississippi River at Chester until Monday morning at 11 a.m. Tuesday, the stage was 33.0 feet. Flood stage is 27.0 feet. Minor flood stage is forecast. The river forecast is to near crest to 33.2 feet by after midnight tonight, then fall below flood stage early. And this was Sunday, but this has continued. So let's think about that. This warning started Sunday. This warning won't stop until Sunday.
No.
Today is Tuesday. So people are going to be dealing with this all week. I mean, they're talking, hopefully it goes down, but like here in Minnesota last night, they thought it was going to go down when it was 8 feet and it went up to 13 feet.
Right.
So, I mean, why are multiple national weather services across the country not able to predict appropriately? I'm going to tell everybody one reason why. Take it or leave it. This is what Scarlet said. 5G affects radar. Okay? 5G works on the same frequency as our Doppler and other radars. And this could be why they took the GOES 16 and 17 satellites down.
Right.
Because 5G affects the frequency that you would pick up radar on. And so you're not able to see radar clearly. And this could be why they're not able to forecast appropriately at multiple National Weather Service offices across the country at once. Where was the warning for Mammoth Mountain in that area to have 137 mile an hour winds? Why isn't that on front page news everywhere that they had 137 mile an hour winds? That's beyond the hurricane, category 2 or 3.
That's right.
You know, you're talking ridiculous. I think like 150 is like 136 or something like that is a Cat 5.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
is that a joke? Like, they just went through Category 5 hurricane strength winds and like no one's talking about it. This is the problem that I have with some of these forecasts is that how are we getting so off everywhere?
I don't know.
It's okay to get it wrong once or twice, right?
It's
But
okay
like
to be
5
wrong
times
here and
in
there.
a day?
But admit you're wrong, number one.
True.
But how many times do you have to go through this every day to realize there's a problem here?
Right.
You know, we have issues all the time. We do. We have issues all the time. But there's no reason whatsoever that we should be in the position we're at right now, where we're not being told about information, consistently not being told about information. And this is happening day in and day out, every day of the week. This is nothing new. And I have people that challenge me and say, well, I've never heard that before. Nobody said a word. Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo. We have told you how to find the seismograms. PSN.org for the Pacific Northwest. GSN heliplots. You can enter that into your computer and find it. No problem. You can find it. It's easy. And that's the other thing. I just answered someone's comment over on YouTube. Oh, I don't know how to find it. You guys aren't putting links up. We've told you time and time and time again how to find these links. We're going to start
to get better about adding links to our show pages when we're done. It's just really honestly been a lot of work to actually get the shows live and functioning and working. But now that we've gotten that under control, I think now I can help Ron and Mel can help me get into the website and start adding the show notes so that you guys can have the links of our most used stuff, like volcano discovery, the heliplots, iris, this, that, whatever we use, weather.gov, tropical tidbits during hurricane season, my Fox hurricane, whatever we're using, we're going to start providing you links so that you can go and do your own research when we aren't on the air or want to know what's going on.
Right. I have continued, and I did the other night. I gave you all the links to all the apps. I told you all the apps that I personally use to be able to pull up information. I've told you, in fact, on the bottom of the YouTube page video that we have put out, you can find the links there to everything that we do. Tsunami.gov, USGS.gov, PNSN.gov. It goes on and on and on. You can find this information everywhere, folks. You can find it everywhere. And we will be adding more information. Berkeley.edu /seismograms. You can pull up the seismos on it. There's so much information that's out there. You can go to the University of California, San Diego, and pull up their seismograms from their seismology department at the University of San Diego. University of LA, the same thing. You can pull it all up. It's there. It's there. You know, we're not trying to hide information. We're not just trying to tell you about it and say, oh, this is the final word on everything. Research it. Find out if we're not right. Okay? It's not hard to look at it. You know, it's not hard.
No, it's not.
You can find it. You know, the other thing, while we're here, we're not going to do a full-blown update right now.
No.
But you need to know, over in the Philippines, Taal volcano is still erupting. The other day it went up on Sunday. The eruption Sunday afternoon. It was Sunday afternoon in the Philippines. It was Saturday night here in the United States. Tall volcano erupted up to 55,000 feet. As of last night, 22 people have been killed. That was hard for me to announce.
Yeah.
That was extremely hard for me to announce. I don't like the idea of people being killed. We put out warnings, not on this volcano necessarily, although we did mention during our show that I believe it was on Friday night that the Philippines had put out a warning for a possible eruption at the Taal volcano, but nothing was set in stone. It's a possible eruption. Well, Sunday afternoon, it erupted. 22 people been killed, and thousands of people are presently in shelters awaiting evacuation from that island. Now, the sad thing about that, the really sad thing, is that the authorities have said that they will rescue the pets and animals at another time.
What?
Yes, that's exactly the story I read this afternoon. That the
Wow.
Philippine authorities will be rescuing the pets and the farm animals at a later time. These animals are going to die.
Oh, yeah, because if they've already had the ash on them, I mean, when they say the ash isn't toxic, but that's a lie.
That's a lie.
It's a lie.
Let me tell you something. There is a photo. There is a photo up on the Watchman. I think I still have it. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Darn it. Oh, yes, it is. It's called The Watchers. The Watchers. And up you can find a photo of a man washing his cow down, washing the ash off his cow.
Good for him.
You also can find a photo of a gentleman holding chunks of volcanic ash, and not just the ash, it's rock, volcanic rock that rained down out of the atmosphere, rained down out of the sky out there in the Philippines. Okay? But a gentleman washing his cow down, and the word being put out that, heaven's sakes, the people are being evacuated, but the government will go back in and try to evacuate the animals at a later time. Now, you also should know that the volcanic disturbance has dissipated somewhat. The volcano erupted up to 5,000 feet today. 5,000 foot eruption out of the Taal volcano today. And they're letting people back into their homes. It's only a 5,000 foot eruption and not a 55. The 55,000 foot eruption was into the stratosphere. Okay, this is a huge eruption. When it's up in the stratosphere, that ash is going to go around the earth several times before it stops. If it's erupting at up to 5,000 feet, the residents within miles of that volcano are going to get ash dropped all over them. Ash dropped all over them. And this volcano has been erupting and throwing out magma. Throwing up magma up to a quarter mile away. Okay, so I'll tell you, that concerns me. This really concerns me, folks. The other thing, there's also another volcano that is erupting. This time, it's off the coast of Ecuador, the Galapagos Islands, Fernandina volcano, otherwise known as Cerro La Cumbre, Cerro La Cumbre, C-E-R-R-O, La, L-A, Cumbre, capital C-U-M-B-R-E.
Yes.
Cerro del Cumbre has been erupting. Okay. The last eruption of this volcano was approximately June 16th to June 18th, 2018, 2 years ago. 2 years ago. But this erupted on the 12th, which was 2 days ago, over in the Galapagos Islands off of the coast of Ecuador. So this is another new eruption, and the USGS is not even putting this up. Volcano Discovery had this up for a while earlier today. I did notice that. Tall volcanoes had multiple eruptions today. We also have another volcano, Cuchina El. Gosh, I've got Spanish on the brain right now.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Well, it's true. I mean, but it's a very dangerous situation down there because, you know, we saw that Easter Island quake.
Right.
And then this occurs. But the interesting part about this is when Cerro La Cumbre, aka Fernandina, went off, Tal was going off with the 55,000 foot blast.
This blows my mind.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point because we don't hear too much about, you know, volcanoes overlapping with the eruptions, right?
Right.
But this time we did. And it was coming at the same time as the CME, coming at the same time as this and that after the week, you know, the weekend after.
Right.
But it was supposed to be there like Friday or Saturday, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay. And then we see that activity Sunday. So, you know, a lot of people believe, like Mark Elkin and Laura Wells, that we're, you know, on this backside alignment, which we do see more increased activity at this time of year compared to the rest of the year for volcanoes and earthquakes. There's just something about the way that we're aligned in the planets and in the cosmos at this time of year that allows us to get rocked. Beyond the fact that our magnetosphere is waning, beyond the fact of this, and that, all, you know, like Terry brought up, you know, last night, you know, he brought up a really good point. Like this, what we're looking at is many different things. Right. You know, it's the grand solar minimum. It's the brown dwarf. It's this, it's that, it's the pole shift. It's this, it's that. You know, it's not just one thing independent. We can't just look at it as one thing independent either. It's many different things culminating into this large situation that we have that is very dynamic, and situations can change every day. And we don't know what factors play into those changes quite yet, but we're trying to figure it out.
Right. And we're not being told all the information. We have to go hunt for it.
Well, that's true.
We do. We have to go hunting for all this information. And by the way, I found the name of the new volcano. Well, it's not a new volcano. It's only new in the fact that it hasn't erupted since last year. And it's called Cuchilla Arabujima volcano over in Honshu Island, Japan. It's in the same caldera as Sakurajima and Aso-san. It's in the same caldera area, and it has erupted now too. So we have 3 volcanoes that have not erupted in quite some time that are erupting now. The one in the Philippines hasn't erupted in 43 years, and it's erupting. And they are expecting larger eruptions forthcoming at any point in time, which is begs me to ask the question, why are they allowing people back into their homes? Even though things have calmed down right now, they're expecting another major eruption. I don't think we ought to be allowing people back in their homes this quick.
No.
You know,
no. I know they don't have too many places to go, but I don't think it's the best place, especially at Tal.
Yes.
When you're surrounded by an old ancient caldera, okay, which I assumed it was a caldera, because when you think about Krakatau and like where that is placed and how it's in like the middle of the ocean, it's got water around it and all that, you start realizing that a lot more places on Earth are volcanic than you'd like to admit.
Right.
So with that being said, when you saw how it is around Batangas, how it is a large lake with the crater and the tip at the top of the lake, you know, right? the whole thing is a big caldera. So if it blows and the magma mixes with the water, you're going to have a phreatic magmatic explosion. You're going to get lays immediately, which is ridiculously dangerous. And that's where the volcanic glass particles come from, when the water hits magma and creates the lays plume. And it's like instant shards of glass down your throat.
Right.
And then just the explosion itself could blow everything out of the water, besides the fact that the ash is polluting the water, and it's known to have high levels of fluorine, known to have high levels of bromides, known to have high levels of heavy metals, sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, just all of these different chemicals that are not healthy, that in Tonga, they did some research on. I'm getting a little... in Tonga, they did some research on and found that after some of the larger eruptions down there, that animals who usually have some of the sturdier, teeth systems and sturdier bone structures, that horses and goats, who usually are hard to kill, bones were crumbling because of the volcanic fluorine,
right?
Which is fluoride. They always say, "Oh, put fluoride on your teeth." Yeah, no. When it volcanically, they call it poison. So I wouldn't put anything that is classified as a poison all the way around anywhere near my body.
Right.
That's what we're dealing with, though. We're dealing with the misinformation because they don't have anywhere to put people. So we just have to tell people, "Oh, wear a plastic bag over your head and it'll be fine, and just wipe the ashes off." Even though they're not telling people ash weighs more than even wet, heavy snow. This ash, if your house is not built appropriately, can collapse your home.
Yeah.
Not everybody lives in a home builder house out there.
Right.
Because people live in shacks and clay homes and, I'm sure everything else.
Yeah.
And so with this, you have to teach people, if you're going to leave the governments of the world, okay, here's Scarlet's thing. If you're going to leave the people of the world on their own, can you at least teach them some small basic steps to survive?
Yeah.
That's really just my question.
I've been asking that question.
If you're going to leave them to their own devices and you're going to leave them to, just survive on their own, can you at least teach them things like the ash weighs more than snow, and you might want to clean off your roof, and you might not want to breathe that in, and you might not want to drink the water if you don't have another water source. You might want to try to get bottled water or something else.
Yeah.
They're not telling these people this.
No, they're not.
How are they supposed to be expected to survive?
That's what I'd like to know.
I want to know.
You gotta think about this, and you gotta think about it. And yes, I am completely aware what our government has and hasn't done. And honestly, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I just don't, because it's not going to change anything.
No.
It's not going to change a darn thing. Okay. So quite honestly, I don't really care anymore about what the government says or doesn't say. It doesn't matter to me.
No, but I think they should. I just think that's my one
totally
statement
agree.
that I'm going to leave on that is, if you want to leave us to our own devices and don't want to help us, at least teach us a few things to survive. Throw us a bone.
Yeah. I'm going to show this because I have a viewer that is really pissed off, saying we're not showing any evidence of anything. Okay. This is the record of the Puerto Rican earthquake last Tuesday, a week ago today.
Yep.
Look at the site. This is a seismogram. This is a record of the earthquake.
Yeah, it's off the chart.
Yes.
Look at it.
The stylus went off the paper, folks, and look at the duration of the earthquake. And they called this a 6.0 earthquake. Actually, they called this one the 6.4. Friday, when it happened again, they called it a 6.0 earthquake. This was no more a 6.0 earthquake than Carter has liver pills. Okay? Look at it. The stylus went off the paper. And the duration of the earthquake was nearly an hour. 6.0
Right.
earthquakes don't have a duration of an hour.
And I've never heard of sixes dropping even concrete buildings, to be fair.
Right. Right. And it dropped concrete buildings, folks.
I mean, crumbled them like candy, like I don't even know how, like a bath bomb, like you just hit it and it just.
Now I'm going to try to find a picture of a picture that was sent to me today. The picture was sent to me today. I'm going to try to find it right now.
What day was that, Ron?
It was Tuesday last week over in the Philippines.
Well, no, I was talking about Puerto Rico because I was going to pull it up myself.
Yes, it was in Puerto Rico. It was a seismogram that came out of Barbados. Okay. The seismogram was in Barbados. Okay.
So that would have been the 7th.
Close. It was the 7th. And the seismogram came out of Barbados, and it showed how bad that earthquake really was.
Look at this. Now look what it shows me. Now look at this. Okay. Now this is from Iris.
Look at what happened there, folks.
You think that was the 6, y'all? Even Hawaii didn't look like this.
Yeah.
There was still some movement. I mean, in the middle here where you know that signature came through, I mean, it's just literally black. Just literally black. I mean, I don't know how to explain that to you.
Yeah.
Besides, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. I'm going to find this.
Yeah.
I'm going to find this. And I'm going to show this to you because it's ridiculous. But the picture that I saw earlier, someone sent to me, shows a complete separation of a mountainside. The complete and absolute separation of a mountainside. Okay? There is no way that should have happened with a 6.0 magnitude quake. And I will find it. I'm looking for it right now as we're talking. Okay. I've got to run real quick and check on my granddaughter. Her grandmother left for a minute, but I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Okay. Let me make sure we're still here. I hope we're still here. Okay. I'm back. I had to go check on my granddaughter. I'm back.
Scarlet's back too.
Okay. Anyway, we're back.
Yes.
I just had check my granddaughter,
Well,
and her mommy just came home. So
well, and Mr. Tire just came home, and he was like, "I need to talk to you. Remember that smell I was telling you about earlier?
Yes.
That's what was concerning Mr. Tire. He's like, "Are you sure it's like that, like natural gas, or like?" He's like, "I'm small." I'm like, "We don't have gas appliances in our apartment building. Like, it wouldn't be that." I'm like, so he's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "I'm pretty sure. Like, unless it's the boiler, but I don't think that runs in gas."
Yeah.
And I'm like, somebody would have noticed by now.
Yeah.
But I just think it's somebody's unsavory cooking at this point, and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
It could be. We've just had another 4.8 magnitude earthquake out in the Leeward Islands of the Caribbean. So,
did we? Where?
Yes, it just came out. I'm just looking at. I'm trying to find it now.
Oh, because I'm very concerned about Montserrat out there. Because if that volcano blows, that's it for like the Caribbean and the Leewards.
Well, Montserrat has been actually, folks. If you haven't been watching us for a while, or if you missed a few days here and there, Montserrat about 2 weeks ago shook like shook like Santa's belly, like a bowl full of jelly, so to speak. They had a 5.0 magnitude earthquake out there a few weeks ago, so we know that has happened. We know that's happened.
Oh, Dominica! It was. It is. It is. It is. It was on the island of Dominica. No.
So Dominica hit.
Yes.
It came across Earthquake Tracker as the Leeward Islands.
4.8 Dominica region, Leeward Islands.
Yes.
That's from EMSC. Now, you guys, so I did a lot of work on Dominica. Okay. And this is not the Dominican Republic, completely two different places. Dominica is, as you see, this little island in the middle there that Ron's showing. It's between St. Kitts and Nevis, and then Montserrat would be above it to the north. And then to the south, I can't really see because it's a little squeak, but I just know what the countries are there. Then you got Antigua and Barbuda, and you've got St. Kitts and Nevis, and you've got, because I did a lot of work on this during Hurricane Irma. During Irma and Maria, they hit these islands first and decimated the island of Dominica.
Yeah. Now
Dominica had almost every building destroyed.
Yeah. Now this earthquake hit off the coast of Dominica. It looks like it wasn't a direct hit on Dominica. 2 weeks ago, when the last earthquake hit, it was a 5.0. Okay, it was a 5.0. I have not looked at the seismos on this. This just came through, but this was off the coast of Dominica, out in the ocean.
They have so many volcanoes, though. They have Morne Diable, Morne Tropiton, Morne Diablotins, Morne Watts, Morne Anglaise, Wotan Wave and Caldera, the Valley of Desolation, and Grand Soufrière Hills, and Morne Plot Pays. Because, see, obviously they're a French-owned island, as you can see, with French names. And that's a lot of volcanoes, you guys. Like, this is all of their volcanic activity on the island of Dominica.
Yeah. Now, Dominica isn't the only place with volcanoes.
Not in the Caribbean, no.
Yeah, every one of these islands
would be another one we're really concerned about, because if that one blows, but Dominica is just as serious for volcanoes. Yeah. The whole Leeward Islands is a volcanic archipelago, similar to like the Aleutians would be to the north.
Yeah. Every one of these islands was formed by volcanism, volcanoes, every one of them. Yep. And so that's what's happened here in Dominica today. This just came through. This just came through from a volcanic tracker
I can't believe that. Yeah, the last one they know would have been in the Holocene era. They really don't know too many who have like erupted recently. 1997, Morne Watt would be the last one that they know of that actually erupted. Before that, it would have been the Holocene, 1270 and 920.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's been a long time for Dominica, but it's waking up. Because, I didn't even look at what was the magnitude, or what was the kilometer depth on that, Ron?
The kilometer depth, let me go back to it real quick. It won't be hard. I've got it right here.
All right.
Okay. The depth on this earthquake was 87.1 miles. So, folks, this was down in the asthenosphere.
Yeah.
Okay. The asthenosphere, they believe, is 60, it starts 69 miles deep into the earth. Up above that is the crust of the earth. So this was 87 miles deep. It was into the magma of the earth, which makes a lot of sense. Okay. If you think about it, the magma is moving. It is constantly moving, and it's going to cause earthquakes as it moves through. Now, again, I have not had a chance yet to go try to find the seismogram on this earthquake. I will.
I'm getting it right now, actually.
Sometime tonight, I'll have the seismogram. Scarlet will have it very shortly.
Yep.
But it's possible, it is possible that this earthquake may have been even larger. Okay. We are seeing that happen. Okay. I'm not calling.
Downgrades are abound. But what are they supposed to do? Start showing that 7 and 8s and 6.5s and 6.9s are hitting everywhere and getting everybody panicked, or what?
They actually need to say it. They need to be honest about it, because people need to know about it.
Oh, what are these weird? What is this? That's interesting. I'm trying to tell someone how to just watch on Facebook if they cannot figure it out on the website or any other way, because the Facebook is simple. Just watch on Facebook if you have issues. Right. If it's that big of a deal, just watch on Facebook. Seriously, because we'd rather have you guys be able to watch and get the information than be struggling with the tech through it.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's where I stand on that. Okay, so I was looking at this. Now, what is this signature on? Look at this. Do you see that weird, like, string-looking signature?
That is magma. That's magma flowing through the magma chambers. Now, each line there you see 10 o'clock, 8 o'clock, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Those are the times that the sensors picking up movement.
Yeah, but you see that, like, right
here. So you see
here,
hour after hour after hour. Like, it's continuing.
That. What's that?
Okay, there's a gap. There's a gap there.
Yeah, look at it. It's just.
I can't identify the gaps.
No, I don't know what that is, but I just haven't seen that too often, where it's a long pause, long pause, you know, and it's just constant movement. Look at that, you guys. Compared to this, to Puerto Rico, to what I just showed you, what Puerto Rico was looking like with it. Look at that. Okay. I mean, that's just constant. Now let's see if number 1 is the most current one. Now this one says earthquake information. This one was in Guadalupe, but this one says Puerto Rico. It's not registering it yet. Interesting. So Iris is not recognizing the new quake yet.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. They're only showing the last one was an M3.8 from Puerto Rico. So that wasn't even it yet. I thought it would have been for sure, 100%, because I pulled a seismo off the island of Martinique.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So, yeah, we don't even have it on Iris yet. Yeah. I wonder why.
You need to know this, that over in Puerto Rico today, we haven't had a 5.0, but we've had 4.4s all over the place. Now, 4.0 to 4.9 are considered to be moderate earthquakes that will knock things off of shelves, earthquakes that are responsible for some damage. Now, back in, I believe it was 2014, there was a Los Angeles earthquake, a 4.5 in LA, and I've told this story several times on this channel. I was watching. I have a friend that has worked for KTLA Channel 5 in LA. I'm sorry, I got San Francisco on the brain, I guess. But Carlos Amesco is his name. He was an anchor for Channel 5 KTLA. And I watched him. He and his co-anchor lady were on the air talking, and all of a sudden the earth started shaking. And he goes, "We're having an earthquake." And he looked at his co-anchor. He says, "It's time to get under the desk." And both of them dove under the desk. The camera went up in the air, showing the lights swaying in the television studio at KTLA. He came back up, and I guess one of the producers of the show, the newscast was there, told him in his ear that it had been a 4.5 magnitude earthquake, and that Caltech and Pasadena were reporting it as that. And he said, "Oh, there's not going to be any damage. There's usually not any damage at all from moderate earthquakes." And yet, all of a sudden, they were getting reports of glass being broken all over the city. They were getting reports of water mains broken, gas mains are broken. And yes, there had been some fires. And before the night was over, guess what? I was headed to LA to help them. I was headed to LA. They sent me a ticket. I had to go to LA. I didn't have to, but I went to LA to help them. Now, this only proves that fours damage property. They damage property. The only way somebody would get hurt, injured, killed is if something fell on top of them from the 4.5 shaking. 4.8 today over near Dominica. Am I saying that right? Am I Dominica? I think that's how they say it in Spanish. Dominica. Anyway.
Yeah, yes. I've watched their news from Antigua and Barbuda and Dominica itself, so it's Dominica. Because they're not the Dominican Republic, no, so they're Dominica.
Yeah.
So Dominica. That's how they say it, Dominica.
But those people today felt an earthquake that was offshore. Because it was offshore, the ocean waves, the water itself, muted the effects of this earthquake. There's probably going to be, people said that they felt light shaking. That's typical if the earthquake is hit out at sea, which this earthquake did. But the earthquake about a week or two ago that hit Dominica actually hit on land, and there was damage. Okay, it was a 5.0. 5.0 to 5.9 are considered large earthquakes. As I just explained, 4.0, 4.9 are moderate, 3.0 to 3.9 are small, 2.0 to 2.9 are considered minor earthquakes. And now we're telling everybody even ones, 1.0 to 2.9 are considered minor earthquakes. We're no longer saying these are tremors. These are actual earthquakes. It has now come out that since they have been assigned Richter scale numbers, that these are called earthquakes, not tremors.
Right.
Okay.
Well, it was interesting. The man, like I was telling you earlier when we were kind of doing our pre-show thing, the man last night on the show that was on the air, right? That was on AB, I think it was like ABN or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he said anything that's below 10 kilometers around a volcano would be considered magma intrusion.
Right.
And so I think that that's something that I want all of us to start thinking about now as we're looking at volcanoes and things, to thereby go forward and start looking. When we start seeing these kilometer depths, start noticing if they're around volcanoes. And then if we're at the 10-kilometer range or less, could these be magmatic?
Right.
You start thinking about that in the context of like Long Valley, Caldera, Mammoth Mountain, and all these other areas. We've been seeing these low, shallow quakes at volcanic points for many years. So is that how we know we're getting closer to intrusion?
Yeah. Speaking of intrusion, I need to tell you about 3 earthquakes that happened up in British Columbia and northwestern Washington today. And actually, there was a 4th that is no longer there. I wish I'd taken a screenshot of where it was at. That earthquake was up near, oh, darn it, here we go. It was up near Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Okay, I'm showing you the map here. The earthquake today was up near Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Right now, today, this minute, I'll be darned. They just took one of the earthquakes off.
Wow. Right as you were looking at it?
Yeah, but I took a screenshot of it, folks. So no worries. I've got the screenshot.
You have to do that nowadays because they'll try to say, oh, we redid it.
Yes.
We've readjusted what we decided, and no longer the case.
Yeah. So anyway, I've got a screenshot of it I'm going to show you. This was up in Whistler, British Columbia. Okay. This earthquake on the northern part of British Columbia was Whistler, British Columbia. They just took it off the map.
I wonder, does Enter Canada still have it?
I don't know. They might. They might. But this happened at 5:45, which is right now, just 4 minutes ago. This earthquake happened 4 minutes ago, and yet it's already off the map. If I didn't have this screenshot, I wouldn't have been able to show you this. The one right below that, I've got a screenshot of that too. Okay, I've got a screenshot. Excuse me. This one was at Friday Harbor. Friday Harbor, British Columbia. Well, actually, Friday Harbor is in the United States. So this is right just south of Vancouver Island. Friday Harbor is just south of Vancouver Island. Let me open this up. This is in the Puget Sound area. Okay. Friday Harbor is in the Puget Sound area. The other earthquake I'm going to show you right now is...
Nope. Enter Canada doesn't have it, but they did call the one that happened, that was the 4.0 up kind of by, was reported New York area.
Right.
They did call today. They had an aftershock, a 2.6 this morning, and they called it an aftershock.
Okay. So that tells me 4.0s don't have aftershocks.
No.
4.2s don't have aftershocks.
And it was felt all the way to Boston. I mean, you know what I mean? People felt that.
Yes.
It woke people up in the middle of the night because Red and I happened to be on air. And if you guys go back to Journey into Freedom, go to freedomrevolutionnetwork.com and go back to this Sunday's episode of Journey into Freedom. Red and I were live as that hit and came in. Go towards the end of the show, probably the last 40 minutes or so. And it's going to be all like earthquakes because it literally hit while we were on. So we just shifted topics and she was like, go live with that. Let's roll with it. We're up. Let's do it. So we did. And people wouldn't have been feeling that all over from a simple quake.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
No. Now, the earthquake that's just directly below these other two, Packwood, Washington, folks. Guess what is at Packwood, Washington? Mount St. Helens.
Oh, I knew it was one of them. I always get them mixed up.
Yeah, Mount St. Helens. Mount St. Helens had a 0.14 magnitude quake. Now, while this is a minor earthquake, it is still magmatic movement at the volcano. And I am going to later... Sorry, my nose itch.
I know it's so hard, isn't it? I'm like, it's super awkward, like on camera. I'm like, I need to get something to drink. I don't want to be like drinking in everybody's face.
Well, I don't mind drinking some water. Since I'm on oxygen here, it's hard for me to get by without drinking water occasionally, and I do. and I've done
Oh,
it
I
on the
bet
show.
you get so dry, huh?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I bet you get so dry, huh?
Yes, I do.
I bet it's so dry. I bet it's always just dry. Your mouth's dry. Everything's just dry. Everything's just dry.
But this earthquake happened in Packwood, Washington, Mount St. Helens today. It's a minor earthquake. Okay, but it happened. Now, I want to show you something else here too. Well, actually, while I've got you here, I'm going to show you this.
Okay.
This is what happened today at the geysers.
20 plus.
The geysers, California, is in Sonoma County. It's a man-made geothermal complex of turbines. This geothermal complex pulls steam out of the Clear Lake volcano to generate or turn turbines to generate electricity for 4 different electric companies in that area.
Con Edison, I'm assuming.
Con Edison,
PG&E.
PG&E, and I don't know, probably Southern
I don't know the other
California
ones, but I
Edison.
just at least know that there's a couple out there.
I think the other one is Southern California Edison. I don't know what the 4th one is. I know there are 4 entities that feed off of the geysers power plant. But we have had 20 earthquakes at the geysers today. 20 earthquakes at the geysers, which is pretty much getting to be normal for the geysers. Okay? It's normal for the geysers. It's nothing to be too concerned with, except, and this is a big except, a huge except, if the geysers stops. If the geysers stop, then I think we really need to be concerned. Why? Because when the earthquake hit down in Ridgecrest, I had been on the air the night before.
Yep.
There was no geysers earthquakes.
Nope.
There was no earthquakes at all in the geysers. So we thought, okay, this is weird. It doesn't happen very often. It doesn't happen very often at all. And it happened a couple months ago. And at that point in time, I told you that I was concerned that we might have a repeat of Ridgecrest.
Yeah.
But I was concerned because we had had some 5s up and down the coast. We'd had some 5s up and down the coast. So I thought, my gosh, what could be happening here? Because we had a 5.9 over in Petrolia, California.
Yeah.
A short time before that. We'd also had a 5 over on the Blanco fracture zone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And we'd had a 4.9, a 5.0 over on the Gorda Escarpment. We'd had some 3s and a 4.9, et cetera, et cetera. So when the geysers went silent, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, maybe the seismic energy has now filtered down the West Coast from Alaska.
Yep.
And has finally set off the San Andreas. I thought maybe that's going to happen. And I had even issued a earthquake advisory for a 5.0 in Southern California. And I'm still going on with that advisory. I still believe that's going to happen. Okay? I'm not going to pull back from it. I'm not going to do like someone else has done after 7 days saying, oh, it's gone on. I still want people to be worried, to be concerned, not worried, concerned.
Or curious at least about these patterns.
At least curious.
Right? Because, even if it doesn't occur, well, let's try to figure out maybe why it didn't. Was there another event somewhere else that, if we are following, the pressure transfer, ideals, that maybe something along the way tripped it up, or something else changed it, or because one thing, and this is not a rip on anybody, but one thing why I decided to pick up doing earthquakes and things is I felt
hurricanes and low pressure centers needed to be brought into the equation to figure out how they affect the seismic pressure, because now we found out a phenomenon called stormquakes exist, which was my whole theory that why I started doing this was to figure out if it was connected in any way, shape, or form. Well, it is, because now scientists have come out and said absolutely yes, 100%, that seismic energy and low pressure centers are connected and can zap each other kind of out. Because after the hurricane that happened in Puerto Rico, for over a year and a half, we did not receive any earthquakes down there. None, not one. And they had been going off up until Maria hit land. Once Maria hit land, we never saw another earthquake for a good year after that.
Okay. It's something we need to keep in the back of our minds. We don't want to just say, okay, Ron has been talking about this for a while, we're going to ignore it. Please don't ignore it.
And you know, Puerto Rico is swarming. You know, according to the USGS, you know, we just had a 4.5 in Puerto Madero, Mexico.
Yes.
Okay, and that was a 4.5, 24.1 kilometers deep. So this is out in the ocean.
Yeah, 24 kilometers is basically a minor depth.
But it's on this ridge. So I'd like to make note of that.
Yeah.
It's on that ridge.
It is. It's on the ridge, but it's not a deep earthquake. It's a very mostly shallow earthquake. A very shallow earthquake is only like 8, 9, 10 kilometers deep. When I see 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, I don't trust.
No.
I don't trust at all.
You know, Puerto Ricos are all at that shallow depth going back to Puerto Rico, though. Guanica, Puerto Rico, 11, 11, 12, 11, 13, 10.
Except for last Friday's and last Tuesday's quake.
Yep.
Those were 400 miles deep.
Yep.
Or no, not 400. It was 490 kilometers deep. It wasn't miles, 490 kilometers deep. Those were deep earthquakes. Okay. And as Terry explained about the earthquake last Tuesday.
In Fuego, Puerto Rico, wherever that is, they had only 6 kilometers depth. Is that at least out in the ocean?
It's in the ocean. Hope so. It's in the ocean.
Okay, yeah.
All those earthquakes are aftershocks of the 8.0 magnitude plus earthquake.
I wonder if could they be growing? Could the island be growing?
No. What is going on?
You think it's gonna like break off and sieve? I mean, you know, I don't know. I'm just concerned.
What has gone on? As Terry and I explained on a week ago Tuesday, a week ago today, the plate broke.
Yeah.
Okay. This 8.0 magnitude earthquake shattered the plate. Okay. It was that deep. It shattered the plate. And it was that strong. It was not just deep, it was strong. And it shattered the plate. So right now the plate is broken. I'm sorry, I just hit my microphone up here. The plate broke. By the way, folks, I've got my microphone above my head here.
You know what? I just hit the camera at the same time after I'm like, get it together, Ron. And then I hit the camera.
Yeah. But the plate broke. The plate actually broke. And so we've got an issue here. Since the plate is broken, what is happening is with these aftershocks, the earth is trying to settle down.
Right.
And settle down to the way it was before all this happened. But that plate's broken. It's been severed from where it was connected. And so what's going on is that is now freely swinging about some. Not swinging greatly. I'm not saying it's huge motion. It's not.
Right.
This is minor motion, centimeters or even inches a day. It's moving. Okay. Eventually, what is going to happen? We've talked about this when we've been referencing Cascadia. Let me bring this map up again. Okay. I still want to show you some earthquakes. I don't think we're going to do I don't think we're going to do a video at 7 p.m. because it's an hour from now. I'm going to, Scarlet, can you continue?
Hmm?
Can you continue?
Yeah, for a little bit. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Scarlet, continue. We'll continue with this at least for a while. This is Alaska, folks. See the ocean beneath Alaska to the south? Alaska is doing this number. It's going to curl like this. Okay? The
Right.
plate is shifting. The plate is shifting. Alaska is going to go down like this somewhat.
Right.
This may be a little bit of an exaggeration, but I'm showing you the direction it's going to go. Okay? The Pacific plate is subducting under the North American plate. Subducting under the North American plate. As you saw this past weekend, we had a lot of earthquakes around the Cascadia area. We had a lot of actually before that, up above that north. In Alaska, we had a lot of earthquakes. We had some earthquakes along the coast of Canada and British Columbia. We had even more earthquakes in the Cascade Range, meaning Washington and Oregon, and even down into California. There were a lot of earthquakes. There was an increase in earthquakes, a substantial, almost a 70% increase in earthquakes in California. I want to show you the map, okay? This is a map of the earthquakes in Alaska today, which we will come back to in just a minute. I wanted you to see where Alaska was because a lot of people don't know where Alaska is. This is where Alaska is in relationship to Canada and the United States. And yes, we've had some more earthquakes in Canada besides what we've had today. Okay? But you'll notice over here in Southern California, what does it say in Southern California? We've only had 50 earthquakes in Southern California. Yesterday, we were at 100. Yesterday, we were at 100. Okay, it just popped up. Okay, this is earthquakes, 50 earthquakes in Southern California. Okay.
Oh, yeah, and don't forget, Ron, too, we can use the screen share. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we can use the screen share. Woo!
About that. Yeah, we have fancy things now.
We have fancy things now.
Well, I forget about all our tools
we've got. Too.
I know, right? We're so used to doing things a certain way that I'm like, oh, we forget about all our cool tools we've got.
But anyway, we've got all these earthquakes, only 50 in Southern California. Right. What is going on?
What is going on?
Okay.
You know, why are we seeing, and I'm surprised, like I said, to see USGS covering as many as they are. You know, now they're saying this 4.8 was 140.1 kilometers deep.
Yeah.
That's what USGS is saying, though
they can continue saying anything they want. I'm getting tired of that.
just had a deep quake, 5.3, 511 kilometers deep.
Okay. I'm going to show you this. This is Mammoth Hot Springs, Mammoth Volcano, Mammoth Mountain. This is in Southern California, Mammoth Mountain. Mammoth Mountain today, a 2.07 magnitude earthquake. There was also earlier a 4 there. I think it was a 4.2.
Is that the one that they're triangulating as like Little Lake?
No, Little Lake is south of there.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But this is Mammoth Mountain. Okay, they had earlier a 4 there. Okay, I'm gonna have to take this. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hold on, folks. This is live TV.
Absolutely.
Hello. I'm on live on the Freedom Revolution Network. We went on earlier to do a test, so we just stayed on.
Pretty much.
Yes, we're already on the air. Yeah, we're here. We're here. Anyway, what can I do for you? Yes. Yeah, this time. This time. Thank you. Yes, please. Thank thank you. Bye. That was my dinner call.
Oh, yes.
I'm having dinner brought in.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yes, it is nice.
But it'll be nice too that we'll, I figured since we were going on early, it kind of helps. You could probably, I mean, it's one of these things. We could probably have shows about everything, but today when we're sitting here with a lot of different calamities kind of happening at once,
Yes.
it's sometimes nice to go through what's happening to have some perspective. So
Yeah.
for recap, we've got, these earthquakes in California. We've got potential intrusion that we don't have any, mainstream confirmation of at Mammoth Mountain about the magma intrusion.
Right.
At the same time, this morning, they had hurricane force winds. At the same time that they had an extreme turbulence warning over the area, which means the atmosphere and the pressure is something to be reckoned with.
Right.
Which make, and when atmosphere and pressure gets over areas, I always wonder if that couldn't be a catalyst for earthquakes potentially going off, because so much pressure above the area that's in like a low pressure, format could create a stormquake out of this. And then you get the stormquake in the area that could precipitate some action or movement that wasn't, anticipated.
Yeah. Now, what you probably need to know about this, weather systems do have an influence.
Do.
Okay. Now, I know scientists are going to tell you no, they don't, or tell me no, they don't. But this is new science.
Nope.
This is not old information. In other words, back in the day when I was going through college, and there's no way that they would even connect storm systems or low pressure or high pressure systems with earthquakes. They now have pretty much come out and said, yes, it does affect. It has an effect.
They've come out and they said, I was so excited, Ron. You know how excited I was when they admitted this, because this was my whole theory. This is why I started doing extreme weather, was the fact of, I believed low pressure centers and earthquakes were related. So They said that they had discovered an earthquake-like event that can happen during a hurricane or other powerful ocean storms. They're calling it a stormquake. Right. They came up with this name after studying seismic events in the seafloor during such storms. They found that the shaking can last for several days and feel as strong as a magnitude 3.5 earthquake. The discovery was made by a research team led by Wenwan Fan, a seismologist at Florida State University. His team examined seismic and ocean records from September 2006 to early 2019 in an effort to identify possible storm quakes.
Right.
The report on the study was published in Geophysical Research Letters. Intense energy from hurricanes and other severe storms can create very large waves in the ocean. These waves then interact in some places with solid earth under the sea to cause intense seismic source activities, Fon said. We have some seismic sources in the ocean, just like earthquakes within the crust. The exciting part is that seismic sources caused by hurricanes can last from hours to days. Researchers found evidence of more than 10,000 storm quakes between 2006 and 2019 in coastal areas of the United States and Canada. Seismic activity was recorded off the coast of New England as well as off Florida and in the Gulf of Mexico. In Canada, evidence was found off the eastern provinces of Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, as well as the British Columbia's Pacific coast. Stormquakes were found to have happened around continental shelves or seafloors containing flat land and at lower depths, the research showed. The researchers considered over weather conditions. They tried to identify whether a seismic event could have been a stormquake. The seismic activity had to happen on a stormy day or have some other connection to a storm. Other seismic events, such as earthquakes, had to be ruled out as causes. Even with the evidence of so many stormquakes happening, it was not known until recently that such events even existed. This is mainly because scientists studying earthquakes have generally considered ocean-caused seismic waves as background noise. The research found that major U.S. hurricanes had produced a lot of stormquakes. One example was Hurricane Bill, a storm that formed 10 years ago in the Atlantic Ocean. Bill strengthened to a Category 4 before weakening to a tropical storm and hitting Newfoundland. The researchers said the storm caused numerous seismic waves off the northeast U.S. and Canadian coasts. Other examples of stormquakes were 2008's Hurricane Ike and Hurricane Irene in 2011. Ike led to stormquake activity in the Gulf of Mexico, while Irene caused seismic events off the coast of southern Florida. The researchers noted that not all hurricanes produce stormquakes. For example, the study found no evidence of stormquakes off the coast of Mexico. Also, no such activity was recorded in areas along the U.S. East Coast, starting in New Jersey and continuing all the way down to Georgia. The team noted that even Hurricane Sandy did not cause one single stormquake. Wen Fan says that this suggests stormquakes are strongly influenced by the physical shape of the seafloor surface and current seafloor conditions. Fan added that there's still lots of unknowns about stormquakes, but he said discovering them suggests we're reaching a new level of understanding seismic waves. Fan says he hopes for the discovery to lead to improved study methods for hurricanes, which in the past have been mainly observed by satellites in the sky. Now we're able to understand the phenomenon, or at least track part of its passage through the solid Earth as well. So, and that was the article.
Yeah.
So I found that fascinating.
It is fascinating.
Because I felt very vindicated when this came out, because that was my whole theory. I truly believed there was a connection. I couldn't put my finger on what it was, but now we know it's just I didn't think it was as simple as directly the low pressures were causing it. But when, Dutch kept explaining seismic force, seismic force, seismic force, seismic force. It's the seismic force. That really stuck in my head and made sense to me. I resonated with it. So with that being said, I think that that's what led me to it, because understanding that it was a force, understanding that it was something, and then learning how earthquakes became involved and then volcanic processes made me feel that they were all intertwined and connected. And now, as we find out, they actually are.
Right. Now, speaking of which, okay, Olancha, California. This is 65 miles north of Ridgecrest. Okay, Olancha, California had an earthquake. South of there, Cozo Junction. You'll notice all the quakes around Cozo Junction. Okay, they don't stop there, folks. This is just part of the earthquakes south of Cozo Junction. Little Lake, California, going south to Cyril's Valley. That's only part. That's only part. These are 1.32, 1.36, 1.11, etc. These are minor earthquakes. Minor earthquakes. Like I said, Cyril's Valley, California. And we're going south. More Cyril's Valley. Okay. And it goes south. Ridgecrest. Ridgecrest, California was hit today. Minor earthquake. Trona, California, where most of the damage was during the Ridgecrest event. Trona, California got hit with 2 earthquakes today, a 1.25 and a 0.75. Trona, California. Now, we don't show any earthquakes on the Garlock Fault. There are no earthquakes being reported on the Garlock Fault. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. They're just not being reported.
Right.
Okay?
You'd have to go look at the seismographs. And you can look at one place I always forget is the like Southern Earthquake, whoever John Vidali works for now. Who does like their earthquake early warning.
That's Caltech.
Yeah. You can look at their seismographs too, and their seismographs. And they do have them on there. And if you dig deep enough in the page, you can get the live ones where they can't hide anything because you can watch it live.
Now, that's the same organization that our little Miss Lucy Jones worked for, Caltech.
Yes.
Now, I'm not going to knock John Vidali. I've knocked him in the past. So several other people on YouTube. I'm done with knocking John. I'm not going to do it.
John just gets like life out of knocking other people. So that's why I can't give him the time of day, because I've never met a scientist who has such unprofessional bedside manner as he does.
Yeah.
Why you can't even engage with him. It's not worth it, because he like finds joy out of riling people up, right?
Yeah.
So people like that, you should never give the time of day.
No,
that's just
I'm not going to.
I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know, but that's just kind of how I feel about it.
Right. The only earthquake that we have today, even on the south end of the Garlock Fault, is over in Mojave, California, still in the middle of the desert. A 1.47 magnitude quake in the Mojave. Okay. That entire area is the Mojave Desert, but this is the town of Mojave, California. The earthquakes that we have going, I'm going to show you. Let's go down in towards Los Angeles. Irvine, California today was hit twice. Here's a 1.49 at Irvine. I'm sorry you didn't see that. Hopefully I'll get this up. There's a 1.35 in Irvine and a 1.49 in Irvine, California. Okay, that's in the middle of LA. Just north of there, Chino Hills got hit. Chino Hills 1.18. South and east is a place that I have visited quite a bit in the past years when I lived in California. Lake Elsinore. Lake Elsinore got hit. Now, folks, we've talked about Lake Elsinore. We've talked about San Jacinto, the San Jacinto Fault and the Elsinore Fault. Elsinore Fault is on the Lake Elsinore is on the Elsinore Fault. Okay, so we see the Elsinore Fault moving today. That's not all, folks. There's more. Here's Loma Linda. Loma Linda is checking in today with a 1.38. Okay, over by Loma Linda, we have Mira Loma. Can you say Glen Avon? What happened before the Ridgecrest quake? We don't have that many earthquakes over here today, but that same area is getting hit. Loma Linda, Mira Loma. The Redlands today was hit, 1.25. The Redlands. Calamasa, California. There's a small resort in Calamasa, California. It was hit today. In fact, it was hit twice. A 0.97 and a 0.83. It was hit twice. Yucaipa was hit 0.60. Yucaipa. This is out in Riverside County area, folks. Riverside County. Beaumont, California, 0.65 in Beaumont. Okay, this is what I like to refer to as part of the Anza Gap. Morongo, California, 0.75. Again, this whole area, all these towns are in somewhat, shall I say, upper desert area of California, in that area. Aguanga, California, down in North San Diego County. Okay. Then we drop down into San Diego County itself. I want to show you these earthquakes. Here's the Anza Gap being hit. The Anza Gap being hit. Aguanga, North San Diego County. Let's go into San Diego. Palomar Airport. Palomar Observatory. A great difference between the airport and Palomar Observatory. Palomar Observatory is at like 7,500 feet high. That's where the telescope is, folks. Palomar Observatory got hit with a 0.45 magnitude quake. 0.45 magnitude quake. Now, let's drop over to Escondido, California. Just east of Escondido is what I've referred to as one of my favorite fishing spots, Lake Henshaw. Lake Henshaw got hit today 3 times, a 0.82, a 0.26, and a 0.37. Lake Henshaw got hit just east of Escondido. Okay, that's out there. Now, let's drop further south in San Diego County. East San Diego County was hit by a 1.80 in a place called Pine Valley. Pine Valley is a semi-forested area of San Diego County. I believe Pine Valley, if I'm not mistaken, remembering what I know about that area, there's a state park out near Pine Valley. Okay, Pine Valley, California got hit. Now we're going to drop over onto the east end of the Chocolate Mountains. If you remember the movie Top Gun, yeah, Top Gun. The Chocolate Mountains are the mountains between San Diego County and what they call Imperial County, Salton Butte volcano. Okay, over in Salton City got hit by a 0.67 magnitude earthquake. This is over on the west side of the Salton Sea. I'm showing you right now the Salton Sea. But what's over on the southeast side of the Salton Sea? Let's take a look. This is Nyland, California, a 1.41 magnitude earthquake. Nyland, California, on the southeast end of the Salton Sea. Just south of there is a town called Calipatria. Calipatria is where the geothermal pumping complex is, where we have drilled into the surface of the earth to harvest steam from the Salton Butte volcano, the Salton Sea volcano. Okay, that's what we're doing down there. We're harvesting steam from the Salton Sea volcano to power turbines to generate electricity for Imperial County Electric Company. Okay, that's what's going on down there. Now, if you notice, there are no other earthquakes around the Salton Sea today. Nothing in El Centro, nothing, period. Okay, that's there. Before I go anywhere else, there are some earthquakes that I want to talk about. Let's go up to Yellowstone National Park first. Virginia City, Montana, a 1.28. Virginia City, Montana. It's north of Yellowstone National Park. It's in the part of the Yellowstone magma chamber. It got hit with a 1.23 magnitude earthquake. But again, this is not the only seismic activity in the park. I just happen to know because I happen to go through the seismos over in Yellowstone. Where can you find the seismos in Yellowstone? On the University of Utah seismology page. University of Utah seismology page. Click on seismograms and you can see them. They take care of the seismograms in Yellowstone National Park, as well as Utah itself, as well as Idaho. You'll see all the earthquakes throughout Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana, all around Yellowstone, and you'll be surprised. Before Scarlet and I came on the air today, over in Summit Park, Utah. This is over south of Park City, folks. Actually, I'm sorry, not south. It's north of Park City. North of Park City, Utah, Summit Park. This is what the residents of Salt Lake City call Parley's Summit, named after an old 1800s Mormon apostle, Parley P. Pratt, who just happens to be a relative of mine, believe it or not. Parley Summit. They had an earthquake there. It was a minor earthquake, a 0.13 magnitude earthquake. But as I have explained in past episodes here, Parley Summit has had a 4.0 back in 2014, about 6 years ago. Hold the phone. We need to take another call. One moment, please. Please stand by.
Oh, stand by.
This is live radio, live television. This is Ron. Go ahead. Yes. Oh, you're not getting audio right now?
No one's getting audio. Oh, do you have the Spreaker running?
Okay.
Should run the Spreaker if you don't have it on.
Okay. Okay, no problem. We're doing it right now. Thank you. Bye. Just so you know, folks, and I'm sorry this has happened. I didn't realize we were going to have this problem. We're going to rectify this right now for everyone that has joined us with their mobile devices.
Yes.
You probably have not been able to get us on your mobile devices with the audio. You're going to right now. I'm turning on the mobile device right now. So if you just hold on for a minute, you're going to be able to have that information. Yay.
Yay. We've been on for, a little bit and trying to.
Been on for quite a while, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And we did not know that the mobile devices were not on board with us.
No.
We
and we're
had
trying
no
to figure
idea.
out those bugs too. So work with us on that, because now that we know, and anytime you guys see something like that, please send us the message and let us know. You're not bothering us. We're not upset when you come and let us know. We just have to ask questions so that we can try to get down to the bottom of where the glitch is happening.
Yes.
So we can fix it.
Yes. We're doing that right now.
That's
Hold the phone. Hold the phone, please. Please stand by. Technical difficulties. We're taking care of it.
And you can always find us if it wasn't working on the website, you could find us on the Facebook as well. So you could have found us there. I don't know if people know that, but now you do know. If you can't get it on the Spreaker, if you can't get it to work there, you could have came to the Facebook if you don't have Facebook, and try to. That's why we give you guys multiple ways, so that if one way isn't working, you still have a connection to the information.
Yes. Yes. So please understand that. We don't purposely do this. This was only going to be a test today, and we're
Yeah.
going to come on later tonight and do
Mhm.
this broadcast. But we're already into tonight.
Yeah.
We're already there.
We're already
So,
here. Yeah. So we might as well just continue.
Yeah, we're just going to continue.
And I'm looking up some more information about Mississippi right now to see if we can find any updates.
Okay.
Oh, hey, you guys.
We're on the air. We're on the radio. The mobile devices should now have us on, so we're good with that.
So welcome to, you're probably listening on freedomrevolutionnetwork.com, or some of the other, mobile device apps that carry us. One exciting thing that I wanted to tell you guys about that I told Ron about earlier. Well, I told Ron yesterday. But are you guys ready for this? So Ron and I have been, reporting on earthquakes for a really, really long time. Ron's been doing this since, I've been doing it for 2 years. Ron's at least been doing it since April, but did it in an official capacity to some degree before that. We are having a special earthquake 3D built just for us. And we're really excited about that. And so we're going to be able to have the ability to show you guys where the earthquakes are on the globe in the context, as well as we believe it's going to possibly have layers of Google Earth built in. So we're really excited to have our own earthquake platform to be able to show you guys where all the quakes are coming from every day and have as many feeds as possible locked into there. So we can give you guys like all of the earthquakes all at once, and then you can see them with us. And with this new program we're using tonight, ooh, a map.
We're also going to have this.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have this available for you very shortly. I'll have this posted behind me on a board behind me. I just got this a few days ago.
Oh, yeah.
I ordered it. I'll be able to show you on the map. I'll be able to point to the map and show you exactly where these earthquakes are.
It's exciting.
We're going to have this earthquake 3D built probably very soon.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to point to the map and show you exactly where these earthquakes are.
And I'll be getting my studio as well. So Ron and I will be able to have a really in-depth program. I want to get a pointer, Ron. I want to get one of them pointers, like the long ones, like and like.
I have one of those.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
So then I can just point at stuff, and be like, "Ooh, look here."
Yeah.
We want to bring this to the next level for you guys, because this program is really about you. We do this so that people have the information, right? We could just do it for ourselves and our families and the people we know. But we choose to bring this information to you guys. And so we want to bring it to that next level. So you all are having a more interactive and fun program. We do apologize for Ron's chat not working on the website tonight. For some reason, it's working on every other page. So if people want to go to like my Clarity After Dark page, you can have open up 2 windows and have one playing the audio, and then you can open another window, which I know is inconvenient, to chat. Now, people on mobile wouldn't be able to do that. But you could also, now that we're up on Spreaker, you could use the Spreaker chat as a quick way to basically get around that. So I'm just trying to help everybody find ways to connect. Just because we're having a little bit of issues. So yeah, you can go to any other page on freedomrevolutionnetwork.com to get the chat if you're on a computer. Otherwise, you could come chat with us in the live Spreaker player on Ron's page. Just go to freedomrevolutionnetwork.com, go to FRN radio, hit show schedule, okay? Then you're going to go down on the show schedule. We're going to go to Tuesday. You're going to hit EMA radio. You're going to scroll down and you'll see you can sign up for the newsletter and alerts. Okay. There's donate button, Okay, you scroll down, you can click to subscribe to our Freedom Revolution YouTube channel, which today finally got to 100 subscribers. So thank you everybody out there. We can finally get our vanity URL. So it's youtube.com/C/Freedom Revolution Network.
And that's where you're going to be able
exciting.
to find our program from now on.
Oh, look, Mel got a new chat. Yay. Okay, let's see. I'm going to sign in as Scarlet. So Mel got a new chat up because, look, see, this is how great Melissa is, you guys. While I'm talking and stressing about having no chat, she has found a new chat to add to the website, and people are there now chatting.
That's awesome.
I know.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for bearing with us. We've had some technical difficulties, but we're here.
We are here.
We are here.
And we're here together for the first time on camera. How exciting is that?
Yeah, I'm totally stoked.
I'm going to drink really quick.
Sorry, she doesn't want to be seen drinking her water. As you know, I have an issue with being dried out. And so every once in a while, I'll have to have a little bit of water, which is not a problem. Which isn't a problem. I don't think. I hope you don't think it is.
No, I wouldn't think anybody would think it's an issue either, but I just don't have anywhere over here to set it, so I have to get up and leave. So it's better to just cover it than get up and leave, I guess. I don't know. I could let you see what's behind me. But
anyway, that's what's going on. But I wanted to point out a few more earthquakes for you. Yes, we have earthquakes here in the United States. It happens. We told you about that one over at Parley Summit Park, Utah. This one is in Junction, Utah. Junction, Utah, central Utah. This earthquake is actually in what they call the Black Rock Desert volcanic area. That's what is responsible for this earthquake. Now, I have not been to the seismogram for this earthquake yet. This is a minor earthquake. It was a 1.64. And I will be doing a triangulation for this earthquake and looking up exactly what happened with this earthquake. Now, we've already told you that what is going on with the volcanoes. There's volcanic infill going on. Volcanic infill is going on. That's why these earthquakes are hitting the volcanoes. This earthquake up here at Parley Summit here, let me get my pen here so I don't put my finger in the way. This earthquake here at Parley Summit is completely different. That is part of the Wasatch Fault. That is part of the Wasatch Fault. Okay. I'm going to pull this earthquake down so you can see exactly what it is. Okay. You see the mountainous terrain there. Those are the Wasatch Mountains. Parley Summit is over on basically the east top of the mountain, the top of the Wasatch Mountain. That's where this earthquake hit today, the top of the Wasatch Mountain. Now, I'm going to increase this just a little bit more. I want to show you where the Wasatch Fault is. This right here, let me back it up. This is the Wasatch Fault. Okay, this whole inside area, the lower part of the mountains, it's called the Wasatch Fault. There's 7 segments to the Wasatch Fault. They run from southern Utah all the way up to the Idaho border. But the problem with this, any one of the segments of the Wasatch Fault could go off, or the whole, I just hit my microphone again, the whole Wasatch Fault could go off. Okay, we could have a major earthquake along the entire Wasatch Fault. Now that's kind of what we're looking at when it comes to Cascadia. The entire fault could go. Could go. Okay, the entire fault could go. Notice where Yellowstone is. Okay, see the line there? You see 3 earthquakes that make a line north to south? That's Yellowstone at the top, and at the bottom is central Utah. Okay, we have a line of earthquakes going up from the north in Yellowstone all along the fault. All along the fault. Okay? Those aren't the only earthquakes we want to talk about. This is over in Oklahoma. Oklahoma, where this wind comes sweeping through the plain, and the plain, the winds are so sweet. Oh, what is it? I can't remember the name of I know the name of the song. So sweet. I'll sing it to you another time.
You'll serenade us again.
Yes,
Rob?
I'll serenade you again.
Okay, good.
The waving wheat, it sure smells sweet as the wind comes sweeping down the plain. Anyway, Moreland, Oklahoma. Moreland, Oklahoma got hit by a 1.30 earthquake. Winoka, Oklahoma, 1.44. Going east, Enid, Oklahoma, 1.42. Enid, Oklahoma. Let's go south. Got an earthquake to talk about. Guthrie, Oklahoma, just south of Enid, a 2.13. In this case, the seismicity increased. 2.13 in Enid, or Guthrie, Guthrie, Oklahoma. South of there, Blanchard, Oklahoma, a 1.65. 1.65. Going back up north, east of Enid, Oklahoma, we have Red Rock, Oklahoma, where we had a 1.32. One more. This is number 7. Owasso, Oklahoma, a 1.32 in Owasso. Now, you need to also know that all those 7 earthquakes are all in oil and gas pumping operations. There are over, I believe it was 758,000 oil and gas pumps in Oklahoma. And there's even more pumps over in Kansas. And there's tons, thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of pumps south of Oklahoma. Where? In the place where everything's bigger, Texas. Texas has even more. Now, I want to go over east. We have 3 earthquakes we need to talk about over east from Oklahoma. I'm going to show you 3 more earthquakes. Tiptonville, Tennessee. Tiptonville, Tennessee had an earthquake. I'm sorry, here it is. This is a 2.51 magnitude earthquake. This is up at the north end of the New Madrid Fault. Tiptonville, Tennessee had a 2.51.
Okay, let me say one thing really quick. Hey, everybody. Everybody who's having issues, I'm going to show you something really quick, okay? See here where you see Ron. Okay. When you go to the website, you have to hit that, actually, to see Ron. Or to watch the video. So you have to tap that and tap to play, or go down to the speaker player, as you can see in the corner down here, the black and yellow player that says live, and hit that to get audio as well. You can get either or, but you have to hit one. I am watching it live, so I wanted to show you guys that while I'm recording with Ron, I'm also on my computer watching. So there shouldn't be an issue because I'm able to watch and be recording at the same time. So We're just trying to figure out who's having issues and where the glitch is, because some people aren't, other people's aren't. People are sending us messages saying, yes, we can see, but we can't. So it's been an interesting experience at this point to try to figure out who's having what problem and how to fix it. So
yeah,
thank you, everybody.
But we're trying to help. We're trying
we
to
are
solve
trying to
those
help.
problems.
I'm trying to be as helpful as possible because we want everyone to be able to listen or see us. And we're trying.
Yeah. Anyway, Tiptonville, Tennessee. There's 3 earthquakes here on the New Madrid we want to talk about. Tiptonville, Tennessee at 2.51. Portageville, Missouri. Portageville, Missouri at 1.44. And just south of there, again, outside of Tiptonville, south and east of Portageville is Tiptonville still. So Tiptonville got hit twice, a 1.28 and a 2.51. Okay, that's what it's showing. That's on the New Madrid Fault, the northern part of the New Madrid Fault. And the fault runs all the way down towards Little Rock, Arkansas, all the way further south. We're going down to Memphis, Tennessee, and that whole area. It runs up and down that whole entire area. Okay? I can't even show, well, I can. I can pull it out a little bit and show you.
Oh, and remember, we always have the screen share.
Yeah. So you can see what's going on. I want you to be aware of everything. I got accused today of not reporting, showing you proof of the earthquakes hitting. Okay? I got accused of showing you that the earthquakes aren't hitting, or hitting, but no, we're not showing you where. Really? I've been showing you guys maps. I've been referencing seismograms. I have, in fact, posted a seismogram from last Saturday in Siberia to show you how strong that earthquake was. Today, to prove that the earthquakes we're hitting were very strong earthquakes down in Puerto Rico, we showed you the seismogram for Puerto Rico. That the seismogram, the stylus went completely off the paper, just like it did in Siberia Saturday. And the seismogram on Friday also went off the paper. Excuse me, I just hit my microphone again. I hope you guys weren't thuddered in your ears. But it went off the paper and it lasted forever. It was not a 6.0 like the powers that be want you to believe. This was a much larger earthquake. Okay? A much larger earthquake. And it happened. And that area is still getting hit with very large earthquakes and moderate earthquakes. Okay? How can that happen if it was only 6.0? Okay? One more earthquake this time into Canada. And there was actually 2 earthquakes here earlier. I'm going to start, I've got to promise myself to start taking screenshots so you can see this. This one is a 2.60, and this happens to be in Hinchinbrook, in Hinchinbrook, Quebec, Canada. Hinchinbrook, Quebec, Canada. There were 2 earthquakes here earlier today. Okay, where did it come from? After speaking with Terry Rempel about this earthquake and the other earthquake in near the same location, not quite, but near the same location, this seismic energy may have come up from where Puerto Rico was. It may have migrated north through Florida, through the hilly parts of Florida, and there are faults in Florida. There are. And came up the craton, the eastern craton of the United States, up into Canada. Up into Canada. Okay?
Okay, so everybody was having issues. Okay, so the people on mobile, you're gonna have to scroll down. I'm gonna show you this again. I'm on mobile now. See you guys, I'm on the actual, besides taking screenshots of my computer, now I'm on the phone. Okay, and it works on both. So for those who are having issues, it's probably your device, unfortunately. And I'm not trying to be rude, but here's Ron. Here's Ron live. You press it, it plays the audio. It's going to load here. Then we move on. Okay. Then we've got the chat. We go down to chat. Okay. Here's the chat. You can type here. Here is the Spreaker, so you can also listen. Okay. You can scroll down and there's the Spreaker. Those are the 3 ways, and it should be all there together with just a simple scroll. I have a lot of things running right now. Why I'm personally having an issue. But the Spreaker always works from audio. You'll hear a small commercial first, and then after that, it will play what you are listening to. Now I gotta mute everything so that things don't start all playing at once, everybody. So that's the only unfortunate thing. And you'll be able to catch this afterwards too. This will upload to the Freedom Revolution Network YouTube page. Ron could always snatch this and put this up on his page. But it will be available right after we're done, because we have been on air for 2 hours at this point. We started the broadcast off with an emergency broadcast for Mississippi River at Jackson. Okay. Right now they are having, it's going to play. Don't do it. I could hear Ron in the background about to play through the phone because I had touched a bunch of things. Mississippi River at Jackson flooding. There are swiftwater rescue teams right now performing rescues. We as USCF have been activated to be on standby. So we are watching and waiting what's happening. There's an imminent dam failure that is going to occur. One of the emergency managers have already come out and said it is a voluntary evacuation. But they're thinking 17,000 acres could be flooded if this dam collapses, which is imminent, but just a matter of when. And they're expecting rain for the rest of tonight, tapering off later tonight, and then more storms as the week goes on. So this is not a good situation for them in Mississippi. So this is why we originally started the broadcast, was to start talking about, if you're in Mississippi, if you know people in the area of Jackson, please get them out of there. This is a dangerous situation. Flood warnings now, if you go look at weather.gov, are from everywhere from here, from that point south to the mouth of the Mississippi. And even after we got on air, more flood warnings have been activated as far up as Illinois and Missouri.
Oh. Okay.
So it's just not a good situation right now.
We've had a 5.3 magnitude earthquake. This one has happened in south of Fiji. This was 317. Oh, please don't tell me that happened. I'm sorry, folks. I had it up here, and I think I took it down accidentally. I'm hoping it comes back up here. Here it comes. We had a 5.3 magnitude earthquake, 317 kilometers below the surface. This was another deep earthquake over in Fiji. 317 kilometers. I'm checking the depth to magnitude conversion chart that Bella and Rebecca put together, and I've gotten permission to use this. 317 kilometers beneath the surface. We are going to have to add a 0.64 magnitude to this earthquake today. So instead of having a 5.3, we're going to have a 6.0 magnitude earthquake as a result of this earthquake here in the Fiji Islands today. A 5.3 is going to be a 6.0, a more shallow and stronger earthquake than what happened today in the Fiji Islands. Again, this will hit at a fulcrum point, between Fiji and probably Papua New Guinea, okay? Between Fiji and Papua New Guinea today. I'm going to show you what we're talking about here. Okay. The violet or blue or whatever color this is on your device, this is where the 5.3 magnitude earthquake is. The other earthquakes below are in New Zealand. That is New Zealand. And they got hit with 3s and 4 magnitude earthquakes today. Okay. Over here is where Papua New Guinea is. Okay. That is probably where the earthquake is going to hit, is in Papua New Guinea. Okay, 6.0. The other earthquakes that we should tell you about today are happening in Northeast Australia. Northeast Australia, where we've had a 2.5 magnitude earthquake in Ravensworth, Northeast Australia. Ravensworth, Northeast Australia today. Okay. South of there, in Grand Ridge, VIC, Australia, we had a 2.4. Southeast Australia, 2.4 in Grand Ridge, Australia. Over in West Central Australia, we had a 3.2 at Mount Burgess. Mount Burgess, Western Australia, 3.2. Okay. So they got hit by earthquakes as well today. They got hit by earthquakes as well. Now, I want to show you something. If you'll notice, I don't think you're going to be able to see it on this map, but there's a craton edge running up and down the border of Eastern Australia. There's a craton edge there. Okay. Over here is the other end.
Another idea for people, I hate to keep cutting you off, but everybody's having issues because they're either you have to scroll down and hit on the Zoom or scroll down to the Spreaker and at least listen to the audio where it shows live. If not, what you need to do is you need to at least, you can also download the Spreaker player from your app or Play Store. And then that would allow you to get the player immediately and be able to listen to it live that way. Otherwise, we're live on Facebook, we're live on the website, we're live on the Spreaker. But if your devices aren't working through those options, it's probably not us at this point. Because we've checked all of our loose ends and we're good to go. We're rocking, we're rolling, we're live on every device I have that I can check. And I have a crap phone, you guys. My phone costs less than $100. I don't have anything fancy. So I don't know how to explain why it isn't working for you. Like I said, make sure, obviously, those of you who are chatting are on freedomrevolutionnetwork.com. Just scroll down and try to hit the players, try to play with it, see if that makes a difference. Try to clear your cache on your actual mobile device. See if removing some files and things like that doesn't help a little bit. Do the, the clean out type deal, because there's something that's preventing you. And I don't think it's from our end at this point.
Yeah.
That's just, my assessment of it at this point.
Anyway, that's what's going on. That's what's going on. Australia got hit by earthquakes today. We had earthquakes all over central Indonesia. I'm going to show you some of those right now. Got earthquakes hitting in central Indonesia. I want to go up into Luzon Island, Philippines, and show you that there were 10 earthquakes associated with that volcanic burst. 10 earthquakes associated with that volcanic burst, explosion, eruption down in Batang, or near Batang, Philippines. I'm going to show you now where the earthquakes are all over there. The lake that you see right there is the lake where that volcano originated. You can see the earthquake marker. It says 10 plus earthquakes. That is where the volcano is. That is where the volcano is. So now you're seeing it all. You're seeing it all. We have quite a few earthquakes, 3.8, 4.1, 3.7, 3.4s, 3.1s, 3.2s. I'm just punching up a few of the seismic readings for that area. Okay. Upwards of 4.1, and the others are 3s around the volcano. That is very typical when we have eruptions. An eruption, a regular eruption of a volcano can generate as much as a 5 or 6 magnitude earthquake. When Kilauea erupted back in the early part of 2018, I believe it was May 2018, when Kilauea erupted, it generated a 6.4 magnitude earthquake. Okay, so that happens. We have large earthquakes with the eruption of a volcano. But as you can see, look at all the aftershocks that are associated with that eruption of the volcano. A lot of earthquakes in that area. I would say we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, maybe 19 earthquakes just in this area. And this probably isn't all of them. It probably is not in all of them. Just so you have a good idea of what is going on in Luzon, Philippines today. They got nailed. They got nailed. Our prayers go out to them. Like I said, there have been at least 22 people killed, and thousands of people been injured. Tens of thousands of people have been already evacuated, and tens of thousands more are in shelters. Some people were allowed to go back to their homes today. Okay, we told you about that earlier. Some people were allowed to go back to their homes today. I pray that these people will be able to find things well with their homes. It was reported earlier that people were not going to be able to retrieve their pets and animals once they had evacuated. I find that to be appalling, that they're not allowed to evacuate with their animals. I understand some farm animals, but for the powers that be to say, we'll rescue your farm animals at a later time. These animals have been breathing ash. They've been breathing volcanic gases. I can't help but believe that a large majority of the farm animals and other pets are dead.
Yeah, that's true.
You cannot survive a volcanic eruption and breathe in the gas and the ash and be alive. And if you are alive, your body is wreaking havoc with itself after having breathed in the volcanic dust, including the glass. They won't survive.
No, they won't
survive.
There was a study, like I said earlier, for those who are just joining us now. There was a study out of Tonga, or Vanuatu, either one, okay, that showed that the volcanic fluorine made the animals, I should say, lose their teeth completely. And so with that being said, you can't have these animals around that at all. For those who are asking again, hover over the actual video screen. There's a little box on there, and they will show like the volume. You might want to unclick that because mine shows right now it's on mute, and I think it mutes it without you muting it on your device. So you might want to unmute that for those who don't have any audio. Like, I could see the video, but I don't have any audio. Yeah, they might already just be muted because I see on mine it is muted. So
yeah,
just a helpful tip. You guys will get used to it eventually too. As we get used to this, you'll get used to it. We're all just breaking it in for the first time, and it will get better.
Yeah.
It will get better.
I want to tell you about one.
It's awkward, it's strange, but then we'll get to know each other and we'll like each other, and it'll be great.
Yeah. One other earthquake I want to tell you about happened off the east coast of Japan. This earthquake actually occurred at 21:25 last night, Mountain Standard Time. This was a 5.1 magnitude earthquake last night off the coast of Japan. This earthquake occurred last night off the coast of Japan, north of Tokyo. And it was probably about 150 miles north of Tokyo, Japan. The volcanoes that we've been seeing over on Honshu, on the Honshu Island, are over on Honshu. This is the area on Honshu where those volcanoes are. I wanted to point it out in case you were wondering. These volcanoes are on Honshu Island. We have had two other smaller earthquakes over north and east of Tokyo today, a 3.2 at the Ibaraki, Ibaraki, Ibaraki prefecture, a 3.2, and just north and west on land, right on the coast of Honshu, right on the coast of Kyoto, Japan, Ibaraki-ken, Japan, had a 3.8. The only other earthquake we had was over on the far north of Honshu, was a 3.2. A 3.2 magnitude earthquake there. So that's what's happened in Japan. We talked about Alaska earlier. The one earthquake that we probably ought to tell you about was up in, we had an earthquake in the Kuril Islands, a 3.7 magnitude quake there. That is an island area of 21 islands between Japan and Kamchatka, Russia. 3.7 in the Kuril Islands. Then going up into the Aleutian Islands. Let's go up there and talk about the quakes there. In the center of the Aleutian Island chain in Adak, Alaska, is 0.89. Adak Island is 0.89 magnitude earthquake. Just east of there, also Atka, Alaska, 1.07. 1.07 at Atka, Alaska. And then over in Unalaska, near Akutan, we have a 2.5. This is near the Shishaldin volcano. The Shishaldin volcano, which is still erupting there. We got quite a few volcanoes erupting, folks. We have quite a few volcanoes. I don't have the chat in front of me.
I do.
You do? Do we have any questions?
People are asking if Terry's coming. No. People should be able to listen to the Spreaker. There's a bunch of options to listen. We're probably not going to be going back to YouTube. So that's kind of, we're going to be trying to test the new tech until it works seamlessly and flawlessly. That's kind of the new thing we're doing around here. So we won't be going back to YouTube. We came on early tonight for the fact of the Mississippi Jackson area imminent dam failure that if you guys aren't aware of, I'd like to catch you guys back up because I'm sure a lot of you guys are coming in because you're like, oh, it's time for On to be on. Well, you know that you can always find us on freedomrevolutionnetwork.com. You can go to Spreaker. You can download Spreaker to your mobile device. You can press play on the Spreaker player. You can press play on a computer, because I'm watching myself on 2 different screens right now. But mobile's lagging for some reason. We'll try to get to the bottom of that. We're not a big tech corporation. We're not YouTube. We're not Google. So we can only go as fast as Mel and I can try to figure out and talk to an actual customer support person at the places we're using to find out how to fix things like this. So the better feedback we can get, some parts are working, but for the most part, this is what we're going to be just trying to iron out the kinks until they can get a little bit better. But, you know, a lot of people are definitely, I'm getting a lot of good messages too, where people are like, this is the best video. It's super clear. I can see both of you. I can hear both of you. This is great. This is fantastic. The chat's working. So, you know, not everybody's having the same experience tonight, and I apologize for that. But we're going to try to do the best we can moving forward to make sure things like this try to stay to a minimum. But there's nothing you can do. It's live. There's only so much you can practice this. And then when you go live, it still doesn't matter. It can all go down.
So anyway, that's what's going on. We told you where the major quakes were today. The only thing I wanted to just go up and double check one more time is up in Alaska. I wanted to look at this. Okay. I want to go up in Alaska and look at the area around the peninsula of Alaska. I want to look at Mount Redoubt volcano. Okay, we've had a number of earthquakes over there. Today we had a 1.80 near Redoubt volcano and another 1.80 at Mount Redoubt. So we've had 2 1.80 earthquakes at Mount Redoubt today. Mount Redoubt is a volcano. I'm sorry, it disappeared. There we go. There's Mount Redoubt today. That's where Mount Redoubt is.
Okay, everybody. Okay, we're going to do this again. I'm going to show you where the live video and the radio is. Okay, so look, I'm on freedomrevolutionnetwork.com. Look, here's Ron's logo. You scroll down. Here's where you can get our newsletter. Here's where you can donate to EMA. Here is where you can subscribe to the FRN YouTube page. You keep scrolling down, right? Oh, look, there's Scarlet, y'all. See, look, that's me. That's on Facebook. Okay, you keep scrolling. Here's the chat. Okay, there's the chat. There's us talking. Say hello, everybody. Hello, chat. And then you keep scrolling. Here is the Spreaker player. So it's totally different. Then you press play there. That's where you get the audio. Up there is where you get the video. Way down here after all this is where you would get the replays after the show is over. Okay, so we're not on YouTube. We're up here. We're at the top. So just to clear that up, and Ron and I will do I'll do some type of video tonight for you guys to help you out, to kind of show you how to navigate the page and what it should look like and what you should be seeing. And if you're not seeing that, then it's probably either your device or something that's happened, so that we can try to clear out a few of these problems, because I think a lot of it could be just not knowing what, this is all new for everybody. And so just getting used to something different. I know change is hard for some people. You may like it, you may not. And it may not be your cup of tea, and that's okay.
I want to tell you about some more information about Puerto Rico. This came out today from USGS. Again, I don't hold them completely trustworthy, but this is what they are saying. Scientists at the U.S. Geological Survey released the latest earthquake forecast for Puerto Rico. While the most likely scenario shows decreased activity, this is what they call the most likely scenario. There's still a chance of another major earthquake striking in the next 7 days, according to the forecast with USGS. Now, this is an agency that says, oh, we don't forecast earthquakes. we don't forecast earthquakes. Really? According to the USGS latest forecast, over the next week, there's a 4% chance of one or more aftershocks that are larger than 6.4. Okay, this is supposed to be an aftershock. Okay, folks, that earthquake was not a 6.4. It was an 8.4. Okay, the USGS says it is likely there will be a smaller earthquakes over the next week as well, with 40 to 230 magnitude 3.0 or higher earthquakes in Puerto Rico. Anywhere from 40 to 230 magnitude 3 or larger earthquakes. Magnitude 3 and above are large enough to be felt near the epicenter. We've told you that. Magnitude 3 to 3.9 are considered small earthquakes. The number of aftershocks will drop off over time, approximately a year to 2 years in this case, because it was an 8.4 magnitude earthquake. But after a large aftershock, after a while, a large aftershock can increase the numbers again, temporarily, it says. Okay. They've already had an 8.4 earthquake. They've had an 8.0 earthquake. We're going to see what happens. But I wanted to give you this information, which is the latest from USGS. They say we don't know if there's going to be any other large quake big enough to do additional damage or bigger than what we have seen so far. This is according to Joshin Braunmiller from the USGS, a seismologist and a research faculty member at the University of South Florida. Okay, that's what they have to say. According to Braunmiller, he says, quote, I was a little surprised about the actual location of these earthquakes because they are not happening right at the plate boundary between North America and the Caribbean plate. They are happening close to the island and above the plate boundary. What he's not telling you is there's no more plate boundary where he said it was. There is a new plate boundary where the 8.4 magnitude earthquake happened. Okay, that's what's going on there. Braunmiller said the quakes are hitting in a deformed zone near the upper crust. That might be the aftershocks are hitting there, but the 8.4 magnitude earthquake was nowhere near the upper crust. It was a very deep earthquake and shattered the plate. Deep earthquake means more than 69 miles beneath the surface. And we showed you last Tuesday that it was a very deep earthquake. Okay. Braunmiller said the worst case scenario for Puerto Rico would be a subduction zone earthquake to the order of 7.5 or an 8. A subduction zone earthquake from a 7.5 to an 8. Says that's the worst case. They've already had an 8.4 and an 8.0. Okay, so that's what USGS is saying. It says they're continually updating their forecast page, but they've said that they don't forecast earthquakes. Braunmiller says he understands why people in Puerto Rico are terrified. No one can predict what is going to happen next. They can't, some of them are staying in their cars. They don't feel secure enough to stay in their homes because their homes have sustained damage. Many homes have been destroyed. And I'm going to find, I promise you, I'm going to work to find the pictures of the earthquake area that I obtained earlier from friends of ours that have pictures of the earthquake and the area of the earthquake. Okay, I'm just checking some more areas here. Okay, there's that. One other place here. I know I should have saved that picture from earlier, but I did not do that. Okay, there's that. I'm still looking, folks, so just please bear with me. I'm also getting those messages from you guys saying you don't have audio. We solved that issue and turned the audio on for you.
Yes, I'm sure that helped a lot of people.
Yeah. Excuse me. I still have not completely gotten over my cold, although I am a lot better. Oh, sorry about that. I'm sorry to be yawning in everybody's ears. Apparently, there was a woman who asked a question last night and people jumped down her throat. She said that I read the question out of context and people jumped down her throat. I don't want to say that we jumped down your throat. I don't want to ever tell you that we jumped down your throat. That was not our position to jump down anybody's throat.
No, we don't want anybody to feel like this isn't a place where you can ask questions, or that this isn't a place where you could find out information, or if you ask a question, maybe this is your first time here and you know nothing about earthquakes or the processes or the things we've learned or how we got to this point. And basically we have to go back to basics. You know, I would hope that we or people in chat would be welcoming of those people, because we too were people who didn't understand these processes once.
This woman's question was first a couple of replies. She said, first, was there still going to be a big quake because we have passed Terry's prediction? And we said, yes, there's going to be a big quake. Okay. Terry explained last night, and we hope it wasn't taken in a manner that you thought we were jumping down your throat, because that's not it. Terry has explained many times that the earthquake is past the original forecast. It was not ever a prediction. We are not soothsayers. We are not psychics or anything like that. This has nothing to do with it. This was a forecast, and we still believe the major earthquake is going to happen at the Cascadia area. Okay, so we first want to clear that up. It is, yes, it is past the forecast time, but conditions are still saying that it's going to happen. We have, since Terry originally issued that forecast, we've had 7 volcanoes in the Cascadia area that have steamed off, meaning they have erupted in steam eruptions. No ash as of yet. But what has happened, folks, is that we have seen cracks in the summit of the volcanoes. We've seen cracks at the summit of the volcano. The cracks are showing right at the plug of the volcano, just like a wine bottle has a cork. The plugs of the volcano are magmatic plugs. Some are obsidian, others are just regular volcanic rock that are plugging the volcano. There have been cracks that have developed and steam that is either in the magma or came from the water table or coming up, and this volcano is steaming. Why the steam? Because the magma is right beneath that plug, and it's heated that plug up, causing steam eruptions. That's why that's happening. Okay.
Terry has made it to the chat, Ron.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. Hello,
I
Terry.
love it.
I'm glad you made it and can join everybody.
Welcome, Terry. Thank you for joining us. Okay. I want to continue on because I want to address this. I don't want it to get out of hand. I don't want anybody to feel like we attacked her or her feeling like
No,
we attacked her. And I don't want anybody to attack anyone ever.
no.
Okay.
I mean, unless they're being like hateful or something, you know, I mean, that's different. But if somebody's just coming in and you asking genuine questions, I get that everybody's very sensitive to troll alert. And I get that 100%, right?
Yeah.
You know, I deal with topics that trolls come out of the woodwork and try to start stuff with you for anything and everything, right? But we have to be mindful that some people could just be finding us for the first time. Some people could have just heard this from a friend and decided to tune in for the first time. And so let's be mindful about some of our responses to people and the way we react and interact. Just because, you know, they could just be someone skeptical coming in for the first time, that you could be the one to change their mind and you're the first line of defense. But if they feel like they've come in to the group and it's not the EMA family and they feel like they've been jumped upon, or, you know, they didn't feel like they were able to express themselves openly, you know, I don't want that atmosphere. And it's not directed towards anyone or any one person, or even if that happened, because we don't know for sure. I wasn't there. I can't say for sure it did. This person may just have felt slighted and that wasn't the case at all.
Yeah.
But for the future, I just, you know, it's something that even Red and I lately have been more cognizant of, because we forget, you know, now that we're out here, and especially now that we're Freedom Revolution Network, more new people are listening to us than ever before, because people are sharing their own shows that they're doing. And then that brings their listeners to us who may not have listened to anything that we do before. So we kind of just have to take a step back sometimes and remember that everybody's at different places in this journey and learning. And so we should try to be respectful of that.
Yeah. This woman said she didn't see much of a difference in the seismograms, or seismographs, as she puts it. We personally have watched and been watching the seismograms, the seismographs, everything for months, literally months, and some, in my case, and also in Terry's, years. Okay. She said, this woman says, and I'm not going to mention her by name. I don't want to embarrass her or anything else. She's a good lady. She says it was a question from a worried mother of 5 and wife of a husband who works in Seattle every day. She says, I have supported your channel from the beginning by subscribing and liking it. Myself and my entire family now, including my extended family that I've shared with, watch you every day. I asked that question because I look to both of you for answers. Instead, you replied in a bad way, and people started calling me horrendous names. And I'm sorry if that happened. I'm sorry if that happened. I will get down on my knees and apologize if I have to. That should not, if it happened, I'm sorry, it should not have. But I'm also telling you that the evidence supports seismic increase, because it does. We've seen continued seismic increase over a period of time, and it's continuing to increase almost on a daily basis. Okay. I don't want you to believe that we slighted you, beat you up, or anything else. I'm sorry. You said, I'm still quoting you because I'm reading this live from the comments here. You are a fellow believer in Christ, and you can understand maybe you hadn't read it all. You were righteously upset, but I can assure you it wasn't my intention. This is a woman speaking. I apologize and ask your forgiveness if my comment was interpreted any differently. I want to apologize if anybody attacked you. That was not the purpose, and I don't want you thinking we attacked you. Okay? Everybody deserves an honest answer. Again, we've been watching the seismograms. We've been watching everything. And I could show you, if we were right here together, side by side, I could show you the evidence, the supporting documents. And soon we will be. I'll be able to share the screen and show you exactly what I'm seeing. Okay? I will be able to do it with this new software that we introduced today. but I'm not completely up to speed with it. So that's why I haven't showed it to you today. But I will in the future. I promise you. I want to share the screen with you. I want to have you see what we're seeing. That way there will be no one that doubts what we're showing, because we want you to understand and see what we're seeing. Okay? It's very important to us. It really is. Another woman who is a very dear friend of mine, she's family. She's family to me. She says that her daughter says that she's overreacting, that her daughter can't find any information online from any government site or proof from anywhere. To my dear friend Linda, there is all sorts of evidence. There is all sorts of evidence. In your particular area, those of you that live in Washington and Oregon, and even in Northern California, there is a lot of evidence. If you go to pnsn.org, pnsn.org, in the top of the page, you're going to see the word seismograms. If you click on that, you're going to see a drop-down menu. In that drop-down menu, it's going to have two different topics you can click on. Click on maps. You click on maps. You're going to come to a page that shows the Washington, Oregon, and Northern California areas with a bunch of triangles all over it. Okay? A bunch of triangles all over it. And in those triangles represent seismograms. If you click on one of those triangles, you can click on, in your particular area, Linda, and areas where even this other good subscriber of ours went, you can click on one of those triangles and you can pretty much find the seismogram in your area, and you can look at it and you can see what happens. Now, you may see a seismogram with pretty much normal lines going through it. Click on the one next to it. Or you can click on a seismogram to an area that's very familiar to you. It will say that it'll describe where the seismogram is, the location, the mountain where that seismogram, that sensor is, that sensor that covers that area. Rainier is R-E-R. R-E-R. There's also one with Rainier that's R-E-C. R-E-C. And you'll be able to see what's going on at Mount Rainier. And you can click on it every day. Now with PNSN, you're able to go and click on previous. At this point in today, click on previous, and it will show you what happened earlier today and going through the entire day. If you just stay at that one seismogram that you're going to see when you first click into it, that's only going to show you the first or the last 2 hours of today that they've covered, because it doesn't start with the beginning of the day. It doesn't start with the beginning of the day. So if you first click into the seismogram, you're going to only see the last couple hours. So if you go back to the previous day, which in this case is Monday, it will be Monday's seismogram. You're going to be seeing the end of Monday and into Tuesday today. In other words, from the 13th to the 14th. And you're going to be able to see exactly what is going on. I wish I could bring up bring up that screen and show it to you.
Of what? What did you want to show the people, Ron? We can
The seismogram for Mount Rainier, RER.
Okay.
Do you have that?
We can do it. Yeah, we can do it now, Ron. Remember. Okay.
I can't wait till you can show me how I can do it. I can't wait.
Okay, so we're gonna share the screen. And I'm gonna share, and what website do I need to go to for that?
It's pnsn.org. As I just explained to Linda and everybody else, and I believe Linda, she's a family member. She's a dear.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, everybody should be able to see that I can see me on the website.
Okay.
So everybody says, hey, it's not working, and I get that. But for me, it is on my computer. So I'm sorry that on your device, it doesn't work that way. So.
Okay. We're going to go to pnsn.org. We go to the top part of that page. It's going to say seismograms right there. You click on that and go to maps.
See how slick this is, Ron? So when I teach you how to do this, it's not going to be hard. And then you can do this with everybody too.
Over in the right, below it, the station list, it says search for location or station. Put in RER. Click on that. Then go over to where it says open seismogram. Okay. This is Emerald Ridge, Mount Rainier. This is the last 2 hours of what it's showing at Mount Rainier. You see small earthquakes going across the screen. Okay, go back and click previous. Go back to that screen, previous, right there. Okay, now scroll down. You see the beginning of yesterday? That's the beginning of yesterday. We had some small quakes at the very beginning of yesterday. Those small quakes were 0.5s to 1.2s. Okay. As you see today, towards the bottom of the page, you see magmatic infill, magma going into the volcano at approximately 0300 hours. Yes, today, 0300 hours there. You can see 0300 hours over on the left-hand side of that seismogram. Around 0300 hours, about 0330. Okay, the lines are every 15 minutes. 03, 0315, 0330. You see that brown or that blue line there going across. And you see a black line at the right-hand side. Again, there's magma magma infusion in infill going on in the volcano. As we go down through the rest of today, 10 a.m. this morning, the red line there, you're going to see magma infusion, magma infill, and small earthquakes. And you see small earthquakes going across the entire page there. Okay. That's what we see. You see those black blobs or blobs and blue blobs? Magma, folks. Magma.
I'm trying to go over it with the mouse, you guys. Let me know if I'm doing all right. I can't see your comments at least right now, so I'll go back and look at them, but I'm trying the best I can. Let me know about my screen capture skills.
This is Mount Rainier. This is Mount Rainier. Let me go back and I'll give you another site.
Okay.
Hold the phone. Stand by.
We're rocking and rolling now.
Okay. You go back. Go back to that original page that we were on.
Okay. The previous, like the yesterday's or today's?
No, we go back to where we were at, where we showed the maps.
Oh, okay, yeah, maps. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, hold on just a second. We're going to go and visit some locations here. Okay. Let's also go over to PAT2.
Hold on, I lost my page. Okay, there we go.
Let's go back there, put in PAT2, Paul Adam Tom 2. Okay, let's click on that. This is Patterson. This is Patterson. See the top of the page? This was within the last 2 hours. Okay, you see a large amount. See that blue line? You see a large amount of magma entering the system. Over here on the right, the black, you see how it starts off with regular magma infusion into the system, and then you see a large bunch of marks there. That's a large amount of magma infusion. The same thing at 1800. 1800 is 6 p.m. See this red line here? There's magma infusion going on, and then it lessens, and then it happens again about, I want to say each line is about.
It tells you the time. I'm going over it right now with the cursor. And it
Yes.
says about, let's say we go back to where it like starts to get dark, 1750, 48 Pacific Daylight Time.
Yeah, 1750. That's 5:50, just before 6 o'clock.
Oh, no. What did I say? 18? It does say 18. It just changed to 18. 18:10:45. There we go.
18:10.
That's a little better. 2:10:45 UTC. But yeah, it does actually give you the time. If you hover over the seismogram, it says that right here, hover over.
Yeah, it will give you the time. Now let's go back to previous so we can see the rest of the day today. Okay, scroll down. Look at all that magma infusion, infill into the volcano. Okay. This is happening more and more and more every day. Every day. Now I did take some screenshots a while back, and I'm going, well, within the past week or so, Terry and I have been going over this over and over and over. I'm going to show you one seismogram in Washington. Look at this one. Major magma infill. Major magma infill. Okay, let me try to find another one here.
You want me to stop sharing at this point?
No, you can share it. You can keep it there. This is typical. This is typical. Look at that, folks. Again, magma infill happening. Let me try to find another one here. Okay, that's what's going on. That's what's going on. And that was just, let me look at it. I'll tell you when it happened. That happened January 5th. It's the 14th. So 9 days ago. 9 days ago. January 5th. So those people that say that the seismograms are always the same, no, they're not.
No, they're
Okay?
not always the same.
This one was the beginning of a day. Excuse me, it was the end of the day. And this shows some small earthquakes and magma infill going on. This is not RER. This is a separate area. This is not Mount Rainier. Okay, this is not Mount Rainier. EPH2 is where it's at. Okay, totally different seismogram. I am going to see if I've got one other one here. I think I might.
And just remember, everybody, if you can't see it and you're listening right now, remember the video will be available for you to go back and look. So don't be afraid that you're only listening right now or that you won't be able to see this. You can go back and see the parts that you missed.
Okay.
So
look at this, folks. That's huge. That's huge. The lines flowing down across time. It lasted for a long period of time. Okay. It lasted for a long period of time. Yes, there's earthquakes in here. There's earthquakes in here. Okay. It's all over. These are just some of what you're going to see on these seismograms from PNSM. Okay. The more and more that you look at these seismograms, the better you're going to understand what is going on. Okay. The more and more you look at these seismograms, the better you're going to understand what is actually going on.
oh, somebody asked us to go to Glacier Peak. Let's do it. All right, I'm going to pull it up for you guys.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to share
Let's
the
go over to
screen
Glacier
again.
Peak. I think it's GLP or something like that.
Yeah, GPW. Somebody said.
GPW, there you go.
Where did that? So everybody, come along.
Come along on a voyage of discovery.
Let's go, children. All right, so map.
We're going back to the map.
Okay.
GPW.
I'm just not used to using this as well yet, so I want to be able to not take 500 hours to look for something.
There you go.
There we go.
That is the last 2 hours, the last 2 or 3 hours. Okay, you can see a minor earthquake there on the left-hand side. That long red streak there, that's about a 1.2 magnitude earthquake. Okay, let's go back a day. Let's go previous.
Okay.
Okay, that will give us a good idea what happened earlier today and the end of yesterday. Okay, let's scroll down. Okay, we have magma infill going on, and we show an earthquake.
A nice one.
This was probably a 3.5 magnitude earthquake here.
But I guess look at what you could call small and quantify as small tremors too.
Yeah, you can
look
see
at
small
all,
tremors in there.
Yeah, like look at all of these little, like these and that and this and that actually look like they have waves on them. You know, like a P wave at least. Like they look to be functional as small tremors.
Yeah. These are earthquakes, folks, right here. So this will change. Every day it will be different. Some days will be heavier than others. Just let's go back a couple days. Let's go back 2 or 3 days. Let's take a look at what's happened on previous days, because I know for a fact that Glacier Peak has been different. So let's kick back to previous.
previous?
Let's go back to previous. Let's check out yesterday's.
Yeah, like actually yesterday's. Okay. I was reading everybody's comments, so I was not paying attention.
That's all right. Every day is going to be different. Let's scroll down on Glacier Peak here. Okay. This was at this one big red line here was yesterday morning. Okay. Yesterday morning, January 13th.
Round, let's see.
Actually, that was last night. I mean,
yeah, it would have been the 13th UTC though, it showed.
Yeah. PST is on the left though.
Yep.
Okay. This was last night. January 13th last night. Okay. You see that earthquake there. Let's scroll down.
Yep. Everybody's loving this who can see it though, Ron.
Okay. Look at the earthquakes there. We've got a couple 2-pointers, two 2.5 magnitude earthquakes, one blue there. See the blue there? We see some magma infill, some blurbs. We've got magma infill going on there. That red one down there, that's a small earthquake too. Okay. Let's go back a day again. Let's go back to the 12th. Look what's going on. You see that the area around 04 in the morning? 04 in the morning on the 12th? There's magma infill going on. All those red and blue lines and black lines, we have magma infill. And yes, we have now that big, huge red strike there, up and down strike that happened about 3 o'clock in the morning. Happened about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, about 1:45.
Yeah. There's another 2.5 to 3.0 magnitude earthquake. Okay. It says 2.6 near Eureka.
Yeah, what's up with that? Because, I mean, I don't feel like that looks like anything. So I want to see what this does.
Okay.
Since they want to say something about it. Let's look at the waveform at least.
Okay, that happened.
So this is what they're saying it looked like. That they had to remove it off of, or at least cover over it. I've never seen that too often. Terry, does Terry know why they do that? When they start doing that to put like actual...
I don't know when they started doing it.
Earthquake in the middle of that being like earthquake.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's pointless.
Okay. That's what they see. That's what you see there.
You know, it doesn't look like much of nothing. It doesn't look like it comes up or out or anything compared to, you know, this signature or even this signature or even this signature. I could see if maybe they were like, oh.
Those blips through the screen there, through the lines, that's all magma infill. That's all magma coming into the system. All those blips and blurbs, you see where the lines get thicker in areas, magma infill. Magma infill. We can even go back another day and see what's happening. Now, they are not reporting these earthquakes. That 2.6 there near Eureka was not reported.
No.
Yeah, where's that at? Where is the M2.6 from? Is there M2.6 from yesterday from Eureka?
This was from the 12th, I believe it was.
It is the 12th. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but it was not reported.
Yeah, but there they have it.
There they got it.
Right. It's right there.
Yeah, it wasn't reported. Let's go back even another day.
Okay.
I want to emphasize that the seismograms are not the same day to day. Look at this.
Yeah.
There's you go to the top of this page. That was the night of the 10th going into the 11th. Okay. Look at all the magma infill at the top of the page. That happened at night at about, well, it started all night long, starting at approximately 6 o'clock, 6:05, 6:04, something like that. And then it continued. And there was magma infill going on the entire time. And then again, we have another 2.7 magnitude earthquake near Tacoma. You see that red line going up and down there? We have a 2.7 magnitude earthquake at Tacoma, or near Tacoma.
Let's go see what that looks like.
Look at the waveforms for this. There you go.
And they're trying to say that they just snippeted out just this little part. It's just that, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Now this wasn't reported either. This wasn't reported either.
Scroll down a little bit more. And then maybe we could even go back one more.
Yeah, let's go back another one.
Yeah. Scroll it down, you know, and this is at GPW again. If you go to pnsn.org, if you're following along with us on your own device, so go to pnsn.org, go up to seismograms at the top bar, click on seismograms, click on map, put in station list GPW, and you'll be on the same page as us in no time.
Okay. We want to show you this. This is important. Here we have another earthquake, and they don't even identify where it was. Actually, we have two. We have one near the top of the page that occurred approximately 8 o'clock, 2000 hours. You look at the left-hand side, 2000 hours Pacific Standard Time. This happened. It was also a 2.5, 2.7 magnitude earthquake. But if you look at the bottom of the page, you can see that those red lines again.
Okay.
Right up there, or right down there.
Yes.
This happened, I believe the time it started was approximately the bottom of the page there. That looks like it happened at about 14:30 hours, 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, 14:45 it's saying where my cursor
14:45. Okay.
Yeah.
That happened, I believe, on the 10th. Okay. Each seismogram is different. Look at all the heavy lines that pretty much start about 02:45 in the morning and go all the day long until, well, it continues all day long, literally through 15:45. Look at all the lines. That's magma infill. All of that is magma infill. Okay. So you're seeing it. You're seeing it all. Every seismogram is different from day to day, location to location. Every seismogram is different. Okay.
You know, and Spammy in the chat brought up a good question. Why is there like white spots missing, like up here? Why is there a big chunk of the data missing?
I don't know.
You know, it is a good question, right? We all should wonder that.
Yeah.
But if you look, it's missing. There's big chunks that my cursor's going over that are missing between 1600 Pacific Standard or 020 UTC that you can see that are just missing. So like I said, you guys are only listening. Go to PNSN yourself and follow along with the steps because this is all we did.
Okay. I don't know why it's missing. I don't. Whether somebody was messing with the device, that's a possibility. Or They just decided, we're not going to report this, and they took it off. Why do I say that? I've been saying it all along, but now more than ever, I have reason to believe because I have seen the evidence. I've seen the evidence.
Look at Mount Baker. Scooter asked us to look at Mount Baker.
Okay, let's go find Mount Baker.
All right, let's go do it. We'll do this. We'll do it for you. If you guys got something you want us to look at, what was it? MBW. Thank you for giving me the seismogram name too. That really helps. Honestly, it makes it a lot easier for me and you, and it gets me to where I need to be.
Yes.
So thank you. I appreciate you tonight. Shout out to Scooter in the chat.
Right. Anita, I'm sorry you feel like we have slighted you or had a bad attitude. That's not the point. Anita, please don't slight us. Please come back to the Freedom Revolution Network.
Nope.
We're not going anywhere.
We're not.
Okay.
You know, she did call while I was live and I let her know. You know, but this is the way things are going and it's your program. And so we grant your wishes. And you said, build me something off of YouTube. So we did.
Okay. She told you we would be live last night at Facebook. It didn't work out last night. Okay.
We're live on Facebook right now. We're still live.
We're live on Facebook right now. You can go to Facebook and see us. Okay. But I'm telling you, we went live to YouTube when there were issues last night. That's why you didn't see us on Facebook last night. We hoped to be on Facebook last night. We hoped to be on the Freedom Revolution Network last night. Okay?
Oh, and it's still just kind of, let's see.
And I'm sorry you tried everything to know or that you know how to do it. If you want me to, I will walk you through it tonight. We can do Messenger and I can walk you through it tonight because I've got it up on my phone as well. I've got an Android, not an iPhone. I got an Android. Okay. For those of you that have me on Messenger, I will be happy.
Hippy Dippy on Facebook. I see you. I see you there too. Hello. You waved at me. Hello. So everybody, there's multiple ways to find us. Don't be discouraged. Like I said, my device is an older device. Try not to be discouraged. Just work with us. Now look at this. Where's all the data, y'all? What's this line? Look at that. What is this line? What is this curve, y'all? What is that?
This is Mount Baker, but
look at that. What is
all
that?
This information is missing.
And what is this curve? And this is from today, so we only have the last couple hours. But where is this data? Where is this?
That was an earthquake.
Okay.
See the line going up? It goes up and then comes back down in a curve. We've got an earthquake there.
And then we've got a little space, but we've got a nice little space just right in.
I know, but again, the stylus went up in the air and came back down. You see it coming back down and the curve, and it continues. There was an earthquake there.
There was. And I mean, look at that. That's intense. So let's go back to what would have been today, but yesterday.
It'll be the beginning of yesterday into today. Look at all that. There was earthquake activity at Mount Baker. And you see all the squiggly lines. That's magma infill. Sometimes it's heavier than at other times. Okay. Anita, please don't think we're slighting you or upset at you. We don't want to lose a major audience because of this. We left YouTube because they were censoring us and they were buffering us. And you, as well as everybody else, has seen that happen. We're trying to work out the problems here. I will be happy to help you personally solve this issue. Okay?
Yeah, we
You
want
said-
everybody to be able to listen. We'll find ways. We'll make it work out. If we can figure out how people could potentially join to listen by even calling in, we're going to try to fix that issue as well too. It's just one thing at a time. Okay.
Yeah.
Like everybody who has these shows that are all beautifully put together, either they've stayed up for days on end, almost burning themselves out why they end up quitting, or why they end up slowing down or saying, hey, we have to cut this or that out, because it's not just wave your fingers and this is magic. You know, I would really like to see other people try, because you'd understand, like, you get so discouraged because you're like, I'm trying so hard. I'm doing everything it says how to do. I know how to do all these things, but then something is still preventing it from working.
Yeah.
So we're doing the best we can. And I appreciate every one of you guys who have reached out and said, you know, hey, this is a great experience. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. We appreciate you. Without you, we would be nothing. And we have quite a few people in chat tonight. So for now, until our new chat gets built, I've been really happy. We have 82 people in chat. That's a big deal.
It is. Considering we're new at this is only the second night that we tried. Last night, Anita and everybody, we failed after 39 minutes.
Yep.
We went back to YouTube after the first 39 minutes, and we're sorry you couldn't find us.
Yep.
Okay, we're very sorry you couldn't find us. We went back to YouTube. Tonight, we've been live here on the EMA show. We've been live here literally since about 4 o'clock.
Yep.
4:30 today. Okay. We're not trying to slight you. We're not trying to beat you up. We're not trying to be mean. That's not it at all. And we're sorry that if you took it that way. We're also frustrated with what we've had to overcome here. It's very frustrating. Okay.
A lot of people have found us on Facebook now. Thank you, everybody. If you needed to go there to find the video for now, we appreciate you. Make sure to like our Facebook page as well.
Yeah. Somebody.
Let's get on.
Okay.
Let's scroll down, and then should we go back one more on this?
Here we have one of our friends here. Brought up the Spreaker and is listening to us on Spreaker.
That's awesome.
Okay. They're on Spreaker with us. I'm going to go down here to the comments. There's one comment. Actually, there's two.
Yeah, look at this pattern.
We love you and Terry and the EMA family. God bless you all for doing for the safety of the people. Sharon Long says, thank you, Ron and Terry. We're just trying, folks.
Yeah.
We're just trying.
Yeah, look at this new pattern, though. Okay, so it's probably loading for people now. I went back another day, and it's that same pattern where it's picking up, almost like it's pulling off the page and then slamming down.
Right.
Pulling up off the page, slamming down.
Right.
We have that in a repetitive mode. It's almost like, can we call it an harmonic tremor?
I don't think it's harmonic tremors.
I mean, but look how it repeats. Look at it though.
Yes, I know. Terry, I don't have Terry here. Darn it. I don't have Terry here. Let me see if I can bring up the network here. I know I can bring up the network. I don't have to say, I shouldn't have even said that. All right. Scrolling down here to the chat. Scrolling down.
I know they're all yelling at us because we're not paying attention to the chat. I can only do so many things at once. I'm not used to this, y'all. I'm not used to this.
Folks, we're trying, okay? This is new. Please bear with us, okay? We're not trying to...
Oh, they're plate movement strikes, Terry said. I knew Terry would support me in something that it was a pattern of.
Yeah. What did Terry say?
It's plate movement strikes.
Yeah.
And this makes sense because it's like it keeps like lifting and doom and lifting and doom, and that would make sense if the plate's like creeping up a little bit and it's like cranking like a little spring.
All right. It's happening, folks. I didn't realize that we've been at this 2 hours and 45 minutes. I think it's more than that.
Yeah, deep vibrations of crustal movements.
Yes.
That's what he said this pattern is. Because that's like, this looks very recognizable as something.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't look like normal seismograph signatures. So that's why I was like, what is that? Right. It's something.
So.
And that's just what people need to do. You don't have to be the expert. Now that I know that's what it is, I could probably pick it out if I ever saw it again. But that's the type of stuff. Just look for patterns that just don't seem to fit. Things that just aren't quite making the explanation that the mainstream wants you to believe.
Yeah.
Because this right here shows something completely different from what we're being told.
Right.
And for those naysayers who are saying nothing's going on out there, well, something's going on out there.
And yes, please, 50 seconds ago, LXRDL said, friendly reminder to like the video. Yes, please do. Please like our video. This is over on the Freedom Revolution Network on YouTube.
It will be on YouTube after we're done. Every night it will be on YouTube when we're done. So those people who just want to come to chat when it's live and don't want to, it'll be on YouTube when we're done.
Yeah.
But it won't load until we're done.
Yeah. But I love it that you guys are paying attention to us, that you're following us, that you're.
It would cost us, I believe, like $100 more to be able, I think, to go live on both at the same time. Yeah. And that would be our cost. And we don't have that cost. And so, therefore, until then, we have to do some creative things to bring the show to you. That's just the kind of the way it is. A lot of fancy things that allow things to be done instantly cost hundreds of dollars now in this live stream world.
Yeah. Daughter of the King wrote, and this was just a few hours ago, 7 hours ago. I replied to her about the seismograms page not being displayed, or she says it should be displayed at every video that we post, just like you have the other information. She says, this is just a request from a faithful viewer in which we believe an enormous earthquake will truly happen in the near future. Here's information for you readers, as I'm sure Ron and Terry already know. I don't have a problem with either of them, but I do think this size of information, in order to be reliable, needs to be accompanied with links. I have told you we have repeatedly over the past few weeks, and even longer before that, told you where to find the links. Okay, I told her that she could go to pnsn.org. She linked verify information emsc-csem.org earthquakes filter, etc. She says, thank you for replying, but I can't find any written ones. Daughter of the King, again, pnsn.org. We've shown you how to find it. We've shown you how to find it. It's there. Okay? It's here. Okay? We're not trying to hide anything from you. Yes, we're showing you this for the first time.
Yeah. Don't you guys like it? Isn't it great? We can even go back one more day, because I know that we were asked to do one more day. Now, for the person who asked about BitChute, no, we don't know about BitChute. We would have to look into that. It takes about a week for us to research something, test it, and then try to use it, and then hope it works. But what's been happening is we get to that point, and then it ends up like last night where everything works in our test, and then when we actually go live, it didn't work. So we still have to keep working to figure out what happened. So, you know, we don't, like I said, we don't have a multi-million-dollar team. It's just me and Melissa.
Yeah.
And we're doing the best we can.
Okay, I want to show you this.
Okay, so let's scroll down.
Okay, I want to show you this real quick. I'm going to show you this from my phone. This is a 4.6 magnitude earthquake in Mindanao, Philippines. Remember where those large earthquakes happened within the last few weeks to few months? Remember when we had some 6.3, 6.5, 6.7, 7.2 earthquakes, Mindanao, Philippines? Here's an aftershock. It was upgraded from a 4.6 from a 3.5. Okay. You can't even, let me see. I can't even enlarge it. This is a 4.6 magnitude earthquake.
I mean, hold on, Rod. Remember, I got the screen capture up, my friend. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's see it. Okay, hold on. Give me a second.
Look at that magma inflow there on that seismogram too.
I know, look at that. But we're going to go to the MSC really quick. And we're going to go look at this.
This is it on Earthquake Tracker.
Yeah, I know. But we're going to go on the MSC because everybody else has got it too, I'm sure.
Yeah. This was a 3.5 magnitude earthquake. They upgraded this to a 4.6 magnitude earthquake. Mindanao, Philippines today. I'm going to show you exactly where that's at too. This is offshore from the southeast shore.
Up on the screen. Look at the screen, Ron. Look at that.
Yes, I see where it is. You got it on the screen. This is just off the southeast coast of Mindanao, Philippines. Now look at that huge ridge. See that center picture right there? You have the earth on the left and the center picture on the right. See that huge fault?
Yeah, the red line.
That huge fault there.
And the red line got a tectonic plate boundary here.
Yes.
Here, and here.
Huge tectonic plate boundary, folks.
Oh, and here.
Now do you understand why they had the earthquakes at Mindanao, Philippines? It's right literally on top of the plate boundary. It's literally on top of the plate boundary. Sorry, folks, I had to get some stuff out of my nose, blow my nose. I'm sorry.
No worries.
It's huge. A 4.6 earthquake upgraded from a 3.5.
Yeah, look, the picture still says 3.5, y'all. Look.
This is Earthquake Tracker, folks.
Picture still says 3.5 right here.
This is Earthquake Tracker. It definitely shows a 4.6 from a 3.5. Okay. 38 minutes ago, 7:40 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Okay. Incredible. 11 times the original earthquake.
Yeah.
Okay.
128 kilometers deep.
Yes. That's a fairly deep earthquake.
Yeah. There's the Dominica quake from when we were on. We don't have any reports of felt, but we did talk about that earlier when we were on, because we saw that come in. Here is this for everyone. make it a little bigger for everybody. There you go. So there was a M4.8 that came in through Dominica that's close to Martinique. What concerns me out there is the island of Montserrat, which the whole island is volcanic, Dominica is anyway. But if that were to go off, there could be some volcanic eruptions that they're concerned that could take out that area. Near southeast coast of Australia, I didn't see this one. Where's this earthquake one? We didn't see that. That's been since we've been on. 2.7s near southeast coast of Australia. They're only giving us that. They're not giving us the actual view, but it's on that end. Oh, we lost Ron. We have lost Ron. Ron, where are you at? Yeah, we have lost Ron, you guys. Huh. All right. So we'll have to figure that out. Hopefully we can get Ron back. What we're going to do is I'm just going to wait here for Ron because maybe something happened to his computer. Let me try to call him really quick and see what happened to that. Otherwise, we will figure out, I will stop the broadcast and then we would kind of just come on to say probably goodbye. But let me try to call Ron here and see what happened to try to diagnose what's going on. You know, like this is live, you guys. This is what happens when you're live. Hello, so you should be able to just go back and join the Zoom again. Yeah, I'm still at least live. Hopefully, yeah, I'm the host at least too, so that's good. So I'm still here live. I'm holding on. I'm showing everybody what's going on. We're gonna go to Volcano Discovery together while we're waiting for you. And then all you have to do is put in that ID number that you sent me, and then we should be able to go back. You should be live again. All right, I will see you. No, I don't either. I told everybody we're live, and you know that's just kind of sometimes how the cookie crumbles, right? And I just put you on speakerphone so everybody could hear you too, because I was like, well, I guess might as well. Why not?
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, so Ron will be back here in just momentarily. He's going to open up his computer. It froze on him, and so he kind of had to restart. So here we are. Yeah. So Ron will be back here in a moment. I'll be back. All right, so we will see you when you come back, Ron. So let me know if you have any issues. Otherwise, we'll get you in here.
Okay.
So we'll just be talking about. Yeah, thank you. All right, so we're going to go over earthquakes while we're waiting for Ron. All right, let's see. It'll probably show me now. Hello, everyone. Some of you probably have never seen me before, but hello. So ASO in central Kyushu, Japan, activity continues. Volcanic ash at plate level 60, extended site observations. Sakurajima exploded at overflight level 60. Towel, eruption, flight level 30. Dukono, volcanic emission to flight level 70. Fuego, ongoing volcanic ash emission to 1,500 feet or flight level 150. I don't know why they just wouldn't put flight level 150. Reventador, explosive activity continues. Volcanic Ash Advisory Center, Washington, warned about a volcanic ash plume that rose up to an estimated 16,000 feet or flight level 160. That's at Reventador. Sabancaya in Peru is unable to detect. And that's it for, oh, that's today. Oh, I guess that's the 15th today. So let's go through all of today. Because today is the 14th. Ebico eruption at plate level 100. That's some pretty big activity. ASO, Sakurajima, Tal eruption at plate level 30, Sakurajima 70. And usually too, here's a little tip for you guys. Sometimes when it says volcanic ash cloud unknown, sometimes you can go in here and they'll actually tell you
sometimes, look here, volcanic ash, not identifiable in satellite data, but the wind is flight level 180. So they're looking at something at least that high. So it's something to start thinking about, right? Ron, I hope Ron finds his way back. Otherwise, we'll have to help him back. Then we have Dukono, continuous volcanic ash emissions to flight level 70. Last observation at 7,000 feet. Fernandina recorded the third eruption of the volcano in less than 3 years. A new fissure eruption began on the east flank at approximately 1,300 to 1,400 meters above the sea level that's causing lava flows. There was an increased seismic activity before the eruption with magnitude M4.7 and gas steam plumes reached 9,800 to 1,150 feet altitude and drifted west-northwest. Now, for those who weren't here earlier that I told you about, the interesting thing about Tal and Fernandina is when the eruption at Tal happened that now everybody is evacuating for, Fernandina started erupting during that time. And it was less than, I think they said like an hour or so that it had been erupting that this also erupted. So I found that fascinating that, you know, two volcanoes are across the globe really would be going off at exactly the same time. So we will get back. Yeah, I know the show dropped off the speaker. Yeah, we're trying to get Ron back here. We're working on it. We're having a hard time. Okay, we're going to try to call Ron again, see what we can do here. That way we can get it back up. I can start the speaker in 2 seconds, but it's Ron's show. So, Fuego, Sangre, Reventador, Sabancaya, and then Piton de la Fournaise in the Reunion Islands. So that's interesting. So lots of activity in the last day. I might have to help Ron. I don't know. But maybe Ron's eating too. It's hard to say. If we can't figure it out here in a couple minutes, then we'll try to get back with Ron. Otherwise, we've literally been on for about 4 hours. We weren't trying to do a full-fledged broadcast tonight because we had already came on earlier. We were really checking on Mississippi, which I will do that right now while you guys are all with me. We're going to go to weather.gov first. I'm going to look at my phone just to make sure nobody was calling. All right. And we're going to go down. And hopefully everybody can still see this who's watching. I appreciate you guys in the video. I can start, like I said, I could start the speaker up, but I'd rather wait for Ron because that's Ron's jam. So we have a flash flood warning at 8:53 Central Standard Time for dam break. Okay, they said the potential failure, so it hasn't happened yet because they keep saying dam break, and it like makes my heart skip a beat. You know, as in somebody who works with emergency management. They say that the emergency management reported the potential failure of the Ocotiba County Lake Dam. The dam has not failed yet, but the chance of failure still exists. County officials are taking actions to mitigate the threat of failure, which are currently alleviating the pressure on the dam, which Ron and I already talked about is basically you're going to have to let water out. Flash flooding will remain over mainly rural areas of north central Ocotiba and south central Clay counties. Turn around, don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. So yeah, they're getting so much rain. They've gotten 2 to 3 inches in the last 24 hours. They're going to get 2 more inches of rain. So we're talking, 5 inches of rain down there at this point. So creeks, streams, floods are going to be happening all throughout the night. And I mean, we've got flash flooding throughout so many states right now. It's not fun. This is not the time to be out and about. I mean, if you look at that, you guys, it's all the way down Missouri. It's all the way down through Tennessee, through Mississippi,
through Arkansas, through Louisiana, and then going out. There are literally flood warnings all the way out to the Gulf Coast at New Orleans, Baton Rouge. So this is a potential serious situation for millions of people who live here in the United States at this point. And I hope that we do not see conditions deteriorate any further than they are now. And that's where it's at. Yes, I know the speaker is off. I would have to restart it myself, which I can do, but I don't know where Ron is. But I just talked to Ron, and Ron said he was coming back on, and he would try to figure out how to come back on. But I'm going to find out what he wants to do, so that way we can kind of wrap it up, or I can say goodbye, or he's coming back, or what. So I'm going to call him again. You guys see him calling him live again. Yep. So basically, since I can't get a hold of Ron, what we're going to do till Ron decides otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up here. I thank all of you for coming tonight for our little test show that ended up being a real show that ended up having some tech issues that now we lost Ron. So our weird show tonight of Emergency Management Associates. I am Scarlet Anonymous. You've been listening to us on the Freedom Revolution Network over many different areas, broadcast. After the show is over, please feel free to come back and look at the video if you guys were listening. Now people on Spreaker wouldn't be able to hear this, so everybody else is actually listening. So with that being said, from the land of 10,000 lakes, good night, universe.